now. Okay, never mind, guys. We're not getting picked up. Welcome back again. Just starting it over. My name is JJ. With me is Shaggy.
Yep. So my name is Shaggy. I'm from Indonesia, and thank you so much for tuning in to the Pokemon 2D VComC Cup tournament.
Right.
Very sorry for the delays and everything, and we do hope that we're going to get better, especially for tomorrow, as tomorrow is going to be the top cut and top 8 teams. A bit introduction. We don't want to say too long, especially when we already.
We're just starting the game now. Okay, we're starting the game now.
We're just starting the game. We're just starting the game. A bit introduction about the games, right, or the tournament. It's a community cup tournament across all the APAC teams in Asia, especially when we don't have any more official tournaments that combines like the APAC East and the APAC West.
Right.
Thus, we create this tournament for the off seasons, obviously going towards to the Pokemon World Championship this summer in August. This summer in Yokohama, obviously. Right. So let's go to the screen game. We'll be showing a battle against the team from Philippines and from Indonesia.
Yeah. Right. So it's going to be Dragon Lee. I'm pretty sure those players who are playing on in our region or are already familiar with Dragon Lee has always been one of the top 8 teams over the APAC East qualifiers for the WCS, and we have Onyx here as well. Being one of the actually it's a known team as well under a different name. They were previously KRT. Correct me if I'm wrong, Shaggy, but now they are known as Onyx.
Yeah, it's not really KRT. I know, I know Resorty and L is from KRT, but the others are. I know Trixie plays for EVOS for the first round on the APAC qualifiers. Dragots is actually from Team Ravana, so I think it's just a mix of a team that is being played, and we do see the ban phase right now, whereas Omo is banning Slowbro, and obviously for the second pick, I think we'll be seeing a lot of bans from the Umbreon for this time round.
For sure, because Umbreon is one of the hot take immediately. I think Umbreon is the most overpowered Pokemon right now.
And you know what's amazing is that we don't ban Zacian, and we ban Zacian, but we don't ban Umbreon for this tournament. I got a feeling if they don't ban Umbreon, and it's not being nerfed, it's going to be super powerful. And we do see a Lady Prospect as well from Omo, and from Onyx, they are picking up Aula Ninetales, which is actually very powerful right now with the buff from the Blizzard and also Avalanche. And also Leafeon, I think one of the strongest mid right now, incomparable with Zoroark in the meta.
For sure. I mean, especially how much of a damage that Leafeon can give us. And at the same time, I do have to agree with you as well because of the meta gameplay that we have right now. Even if you don't have that much of a damage, as long as you do have those crowd controls against your opponents, you can pretty much guarantee, all the free hits all day, all you want.
Right, and especially the Razor Leaf, also the Solar Blade, it's both are good, right? Both are good, and we do see a pick from Venusaur and Snorlax. Snorlax is not a Pokemon that we see quite often, right? I think for the past on the APAC West and APAC East regional finals, we don't see a lot of Snorlax. We do see a lot of Blastoise. We do see a lot of Hoopa, and I'm pretty surprised that they don't take Buzzwole as their last Pokemon for Omo, because I think it's one of the Pokemon that can counter Blastoise. That is all being owned by Onyx, and Onyx has both the Blastoise and also the Buzzwole. So I think it's going to be a very strong start, especially from Onyx. But I do believe Omo has a bit of a game plan as well. With the Clefairy, it's able to make sure that the Venusaur, the Lay Press, able to survive a lot of hits. And the Chandler is going to be dealing tons of damage with that Overheat. And also the Imprison, which is very, very important in this kind of metagame right now.
No, yeah, but the thing here is, right, like as much as we would like to say that Almo Dragon Lee here would have like the better sustainability, the moment that what do you call this, the moment that Onyx here would be able to get in their crowd controls, right? That is the biggest threat here for Omu Dragon Lee. If they cannot stop them from getting in their crowd controls or AoEs here, then they will be eating up all the damage that is going to be coming up here from Onyx. But otherwise, going into the side of Omu Dragon Lee, however, they have all the HP that they need. They have all the HP, they have all the bulkiness, and they do have the prowess as well from the back lane. See, right? We have Lapras as a frontliner, we have the Snorlax as well, just to push away the opposing Pokemon, and likewise, just the back lane damage coming in from the Chandler and the Venusaur is all enough to actually penetrate through a lot of the damage.
I believe the Venusaur should be playing the Solar Beam, right? Or is it playing the
they have a muscle band in, so it's more likely that we might be able to see a pedal dance.
Pedal dance.
Yeah.
All right. And we do see always like the two. Oh, the strats here on taking the mid. And able to evolve into Leafeon very, very strong early in the game. And obviously over here on top, Buzzwole is able to take onto those two Pokemon. Resorte is trying to take onto the red buff right now, the Escavalier. Able to stack up onto the top lane, which is very strong. And we do see a very strong pressure from Lanaya and able to take onto the Litwick right now. And also coming in, the Leafeon is able to knock out the Snorlax and able to do some of the stacking for as well.
Right, but that's the thing though. Onyx here, this is still the early game, so it might not be the definitive answer yet against that of Almo Dragon Lee, but at the same time, we have to take note that the moment that they can get in their power spike is also the time that they can dish out so much damage. Unfortunately enough for them, however, that they still need these XPs to get their damage into the side of Onyx.
Yeah, right. And I think on top lane right there, they're able to defend at least from the Bulbasaur from putting in 16 points. And we do see the Bulbasaur, the Ivysaur is going to battle against the Leafeon. Leafeon is able to get the both of the buffs, I believe, from almost, which is going to be very dangerous. But here right now, we do see the Snorlax coming in, and also the stun is from the Nightshade is able to push Leafeon away back.
Right, but with that being said, though, like the Leafeon is still not going to be pushing back. They're still going to invade the central area of the opposing team, making sure that they get in as much XP as they can, especially getting in this level 8 before the major objective is very, very, very amazingly done here, into the side of the Leafeon and putting up so much damage in the process. With that being said, Lapras and that of the Fable is not going to be going down as Onyx is going to put in as much thanks into that of the first tier score goal.
Did you see that SmackDown taking out two Pokemon at the same time? That was really, really great play by the Buzzwole right there. And the pushing over back to the Audino to the back. But Omo is able to take on the Audino, but it's going to be punished. And right now, it's going to be knocked out by Leafeon, hopefully with the help of the Alola Ninetales. And I do think that in this early game, there's an immense pressure that is going on from Team Onyx to Team Omo. And also, obviously, they're able to take the Regirock on the bottom side. And right now, Lanaya is going up. It's going to help Buzzwole and also Hoopa to take onto the Regieleki as well. And we do see Snorlax is coming in, but is not able to defend. And the pressure is just going very, very strong. Early in the game, Resorte is trying to help, trying to build, and with the Leaf Blade is able to get out from the danger against the Clefairy and is going to go back to the base and also heal up before coming back to the portal that the Hoopa has bring in too.
Right, so that's what I'm talking about as well earlier, right? Like, Onyx here definitely has a very strong early game, and their only win condition here is to maintain that up until the late game, and that's what we're doing as well. Look at that. The Buzzwole is going to be able to take down this Snorlax as well, so our beam is going to be popped up, but unfortunately, there goes the Buzzwole once again, pushing out 2 KOs in the process, but at the same time, there is assist from the Alolan Ninetales, taking down 3 into the side of Omo Dragon Lee, and just like that, 319 to 34, this is looking pretty bleak for Dragon Lee right now.
Yeah, it's really looking really bad for Dragon Lee, but we do know that Dragon Lee's Pokemon is very much onto the late game side, right? So definitely, I think it's going to be very interesting to see on the Rayquaza team fight later. Yeah, Rayquaza team fight later on. But usually with you always don't. I mean, you are okay in terms of losing in the early game, but not this much.
No, definitely not this much, because as you can see here, right? They not only have won the early game, but they have maintained it. They are definitely steamrolling right now into the mid game. And sure, Dragon Lee's Pokemon here takes a while to, go online, but if you take this while to go online, then you're going to have a problem by the late game. As you can see here, Blastoise is being taken down by 4 Pokemon inside of Dragon Lee and still not doing a lot of damage. Then that only says a lot about the current composition here by Dragon Lee.
And I think there'll be a team wipeout from team.
Not yet. Not quite
yet, but should be right now. I mean, the team, their teammates has already. The jump from the Registeel is preventing the Leafeon to go back to the base, I believe. Right.
I mean, which is fine. It doesn't really it doesn't matter as much, just because of the fact that they still got the Registeel anyway, and at the same time, they're still winning by a mile ahead. Against that of Dragon Lee. Not only do they have the XP advantage, not only do they have the point advantage, but just on the macro, they are losing from every team fight. And look at this right now, 3-on-3 into that of the top pad. Power now is going to be popped up as well. Just in the hyperspace hole here for the for the Buzzwole to recover some HP. And look at that, another KO into that of the Snorlax into the side of the Dragon Lee. 4v5 is going to be the player of the game here, as Hoopa is going to be going down below for option select, trying to score in as well. But look at that, Buzzwole with a Unite move as well, but there goes another from the Chandler, going to be able to take down 1-3. This might be the return of the comeback here from the side of the Dragon Lee. But the question is, would they be able to take in the Rayquaza? Because if they cannot take in the Rayquaza, even if they do take in this Regieleki for themselves, it's still not going to be enough for them to catch up to, to Onyx.
Yeah, but I do think that they're delaying Onyx is delaying the Regieleki for them to be able to take the winning condition during the Team Rayquaza fight, right? But unfortunately, they lost the team fight. Thus, I think it's very good time for team. There's very good time for team Dragon Lee just to take on with that Regieleki, and to make sure that on the second minute there's not going to be a Regieleki to be up for grabs for any team.
Right. See, that's the thing, right? Even if they do delay, so the problem there is if they delay, they risk it being stolen by that of Onyx. And so that's why they had to take it as much as early. But going down here, 2 minutes and 30 seconds left. 30 seconds before the Rayquaza comes up. Here comes a Regice as well. It's going to be taken down here by Onyx. And just like that, they have the HP regeneration here buff coming in from the Regice. Definitely has the advantage, not only with the XP, with the macro, with all the damages in as well into the Rayquaza. So this is going to be a very huge fight, a very hard fight, difficult fight, even into the side of Dragon Lee. And even if they can take it, I don't think they would have enough players to actually come back around here to Onyx. But hopefully they can, make me eat my words.
Yeah, but it was good to see that Leafeon is trying to steal the points on the bottom, and there's a Hydro Typhoon coming out, and there's also the Hoopa is using the Unite Unbound, trying to go at everything there, and there's a Unite move, and Leafeon is trying to sweep everything back. There's still Citrus Berry. It's going to help the Alolan Ninetales it to reach up to certain health, and there's going to be a knockout, probably double knockout onto. That's a 4 knockout, I believe, from the boss wall. It's to see how strong team Onyx is, and I do not think that on the next game they're going to want to leave. But there's the Lapras coming in, but it's going to be knocked up onto the back, and is able to be secured by Team Onyx for this time round.
I think, I would have to really commend this Leafeon into the side of Onyx just because of the fact that, sure, they are actually providing a lot of options to select here towards that of Dragon Lee. Number one, right? If they decide to defend their score goal from the Leafeon, then they are giving away the Rayquaza. But, however, if they do go to the Rayquaza, then they are allowing this Leafeon to actually score in freely. So it's definitely a lose-lose situation here right now for Dragon Lee. And the moment that the Leafeon actually went in on the team fight, just to finally put in the last pin in the coffin into the side of Dragon Lee was just beautiful.
That's a very beautiful game by, and I think there's going to be a lot of adjustments from us. Did you see that? That's just how powerful Buzzwole is.
No, yeah, definitely. But there you go. Even inside the third tier score goal, man, the Buzzwole, man, with the Unite move is just dominating right now, especially with its attacks as well. And definitely one of the buff Pokemons with the recent patch. You don't want to mess with the Buzzwole, and definitely deserves a ban here. But even more so, I think the Leafeon, right? The Leafeon is as well one of the key Pokemon here into the side of Onyx.
Yeah, but I think I should give props to Dragon Lee, especially during their team fight, even though that they're losing a lot in terms of like the early game. Mm-hmm. They're able to make sure that their Lapras and their Venusaur on level 13 before the team reconcile, which is actually, to be honest, it's very difficult, right? When you are being bombarded by the opponent, the creeps are being taken off. Right. It's very hard for you to be able to do leveling and to reach level 13 during the team fights on the Rayquaza, but they're able to do so. And I do believe during the team fight on the Rayquaza, they had a good chance, but they just didn't see that the Leafeon was just coming in to clean it up. And with the Buzzwole is able to survive like a lot from lots of damage from Team Dragon Lee, is just to show that how powerful the draft pick from Team Onyx on the previous game.
Right. So that's what I was saying as well earlier, right? Like they have been, allowing this Leafeon to just, get in their XP, invade into their, central area, get in all their buffs, get in all their XPs, and just allowed it to actually go online as early as possible, which then, didn't allow them to defend themselves from that of the Leafeon. And even so, as I mentioned earlier, the option select that this Leafeon is providing, the mental pain that this Leafeon is providing Dragon Lee is just menacing. That whatever they did at that last moment was a lose-lose situation for them.
Yeah, I do say, and I do need to keep note when we do see the last team fight before the Rayquaza, when they're trying to take the Regice on the bottom. They're actually pretty smart. I mean, they're pro team, so they should be smart. But they do keep the Buzzwole on top lane just to defend, to make sure that the opponent is not, putting in any scores. Because if we do see, some of the fights playing during ranked or, with your friends and everything, you always tend to try to make sure that you want to get the Regice or the Regirock or the Registeel on the bottom lane, but you sometimes forgot to defend your tower or your goal zone on the top lane, whereas it resulted like, there's some score steal from the opponent's side.
Right, but with that being said, I know you guys are as well really eager to see the next match here. So without further ado, we're going to be starting it right now, because, we don't like waiting as well. So we're going to be going ahead into the game. So here we go, guys, ladies and gentlemen, here is the ban phase that we have right now. So still, Umbreon is still going to be banned. I guess this is what I'm saying earlier, right? Umbreon is the new Zacian.
Yeah, I'll say it's not as powerful as Zacian, but
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that, honestly. I would say that like it's on par. It's on par with.
Here's the thing. I think the difference is Zacian is able to give up tons of damage, right? Whereas Umbreon is able to tank tons of damage, not being able to be knocked out, and help the friends to take on the knockout. So I think that's the main difference, right? Zacian is
like
able to
Umbreon can do the damage as well.
I know, but obviously not as much as Zacian. Like Zacian, you see Zacian, you don't want to fight them, right? You see an Umbreon, you still want to fight them. Let's say if you have like 3 Pokemons like in your friend, you still want to fight them like 3-2-1. Like Zacian 3-2-1, like easily. Like Zacian can easily knock your team out. So that's what I mean by...
Well, not anymore. That's the thing. Not anymore. Not anymore. Right. Definitely not as much as like a day one Zacian, but it's still one of the most powerful Pokemon at the moment, especially with the mean look, which basically acts out as a duel in Dota, which you cannot leave that circle. Right? Even if you use your eject button, you won't be able to escape the circle. You have Snarl as well, which debuffs everything, special defense, special attacks, all your damages up there. You're gonna get removed down there. So Snarl and Milo, pretty, it's pretty OP, honestly, I'd say. I think Shaq is still here.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
I just want to say that for this game around, I think Lapras is being taken by again like the first pick from Onyx, right? From the first pick. Right. And then from the opponent side, I think what's interesting is that they picked they picked Urshifu and Clefairy at the same time to make sure that the Urshifu is able to do the surging strikes of water and is not being able to be blocked by gravity. Obviously,
right. So there are 3 Pokemon. Right? There are 3 Pokemon that is being changed here for the side of Dragon Lee. We have the as you mentioned, the Slowbro. We have the Urshifu, and of course we do have the Mew as well. Backlane damage. They do have the frontliner that is of course a Blastoise, and of course just recovery some of their HPs as well. Sustain, that is a Clefable, and of course more damage DPS coming in from the side of the Urshifu, which let's be honest is one of the best attacking Pokemon right now in the game. But at the same time, going over into the side of the Onyx, they're not really going to be changing things up. It's still the same composition, but we have to take note. There is now the Hoopa and the Lapras. The Lapras definitely one of the strongest defenders in the game right now. And Hoopa just allowing them to go back from their base, heal up, and go back as if nothing happened is just going to enable this Leafeon and Buzzle even more so than they did game number 1.
Yeah, I think the most interesting part is that you wouldn't want to have Lapras and Hoopa at the same team. I know that a lot of pro teams told me that having Hoopa and also Lapras at the same team is very, very dangerous because they are very strong. They have a very good combination. And also the other things that surprises me is that Dragon Lee is taking the Blastoise after knowing that the opponent has a Buzzwole. So I kind of like a bit not worried, but but it's being taken by the Kupfu. It's still a Kupfu and able to get out from the danger. But obviously, I do think that the Hoopa and Lapras is able to take the other buff at the moment. But Leafeon here is ready to help Buzzwole to dominate the top lane.
Right, and just like that, 16 to 18 is going to be the name of the game here. In terms of the score, nothing yet is happening, which I really like about Dragon Lee at the moment, just because of the fact that it's they're not getting dominated as much as they did game number 1, but at the very least they are holding up as much as they can. But look at that, Leafeon is going to be able to take down the Squirtle, putting in some scores and putting in some sacks again. And this Clefairy is not going to be able to do anything. It's not sure it might be able to sustain some damage, but it's not going to put out damage against the opposing team. Not yet,
but we do see
not ever, honestly.
But we do see the Urshifu is trying to get online right now as evolve into the water bear, as we said
No,
in the
no, it's not.
commentary.
It's not. Is it water bear?
Is it?
I don't think so. No, it's
It's,
the
it's
single
water
strike
bear.
Shifu.
It's single strike. It's a single strike.
Single strike. It's single strike. Yeah.
And being picked up by Le'Veon. And Le'Veon is trying to help by the Lepras and able to take a knockout as well onto the Wartortle and trying to put in 17 points and another 15 points, hopefully, by the Buzzwole, doing some stacks, doing some scoring, and it's going to be looking pretty bad for Dragon League right now.
This is pretty dangerous into the side of Dragon League just because the fact that we have the Lapras, we have the Leafeon. Lapras at what do you call this? Perish Song as well, and we all know how much of a damage that the Leafeon can do against an opposing Pokemon. That they don't even need to take out the entire HP. Just make sure that they go in, make their HP reach a threshold and just let them, go wherever for their final last breath.
Right, and. We do see a very strong position on the bottom lane with the Lepras on the being the vanguard, but able to go back through the Hoopa's ring, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, it's not looking very good for Team Dragon League in order to compete for this Regirock down here.
Right, so I don't think they're going to be able to take this one up. Onyx definitely recognized this as well. We're not going to be able to see a bit of a fight on the right, but there you go. There is it. My goodness, just some dominance. You're going to be able to take down, the Reggie bottom, and of course, going to be able to destroy the first tier Squirtle down bottom path as well. But at the same time, does have the elevator going up as well for the Reggie Eleki. And as I was saying, right, this is something that Onyx has recognized as well. Sure, what always is happening is that the Squirtle or the Wartortle in this case is going to be the one left to take down this Reggie Eleki for themselves, as the other team would be able to try to take down that Reggie bottom. But since they recognize this, they know that hey, the Squirtle won't be able to do any damage. It's not going to be able to take down Reggie Eleki. So let's have 5-man down bottom, and there you go. Going to be able to take down that Reggie bottom and the Reggie Eleki up top as well. Maybe going to be able to destroy the second tier Squirtle up top as well.
Yeah, looking very similar to game one and very interesting to see Resorte has already on the level 11. We see the Unite move coming out from most of the Pokemon out there. There's a Solar Beam coming out and able to kill the Leafeon, which is very good. Ooh. And also the Snow Globe is able to knock out the Urshifu just now. And right now with the Unite, with the Ring from the Hoopa is able to heal some of the damage and pick up another KOs onto the opponents. We see the knock onto the Clefairy. The Surf is coming out right there overall and trying to push onto the top lane here and destroy the top goal score from Team Dragon League.
And it's quite dominating. It's only the 5 minutes. It's not even 5 minutes yet, and they've already destroyed 3 score goals into the side of Dragon League. And all they can do right now is defend the secondary score goal down bottom, and get their XPs as much as they can. And prepare for the Rayquaza, because if they keep on going for team fights against Onyx, I think they're going to keep on losing. Not unless they can get in their XP. Because look at the levels right now, right? 11, 12, 11, 10, 10 into the side of Onyx. Everyone is on the double digits. But into the side of Dragon League, they're still level 8s.
They're still level 8. I don't think some Pokemon like Slower doesn't have even the Unite move yet. And there is another Hydro Typhoon coming out from the Blastoise.
That's two.
And that's two, but is not able to do anything against this Blizzard. And also the 4 knockouts from Buzzwole trying to destroy the lane as well, probably.
That is what a Patch Node can do. A Pokemon plus 6 stacks of attack weight as well. You definitely don't want to get grabbed here by the Buzzwole, because once it grabs you, man, the next time you're going to be waking up would be tomorrow.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? That's the thing, right? With Buzzwole, I think it's one of the most popular and the strongest top lane Pokemon right now in a meta game. Where I do think that his counter right now, it's only enabling him to farm and making sure that he's not on level 13 during the Rayquaza fight.
Right.
The Rayquaza fight.
There are only two Pokemon that I can definitely say that is a counter pick to that of what we call is the Buzzwole. On the top of my head, I'm thinking Slowbro with Scald, and if not Umbreon. Umbreon can definitely remove the damage coming out from that of the Buzzwole. But speaking of the Buzzwole as well, here comes the damage again. Smackdown is going to be popped up as well, but not quite enough to take down one. But the Blast is going to be taken out as well. But there's still one more. Even Fizz is going to be popped up as well. Leafeon is going to be going down, but to what extent it is going to be their own life going to be taken down as well. 2-1 in favor of Onyx.
And obviously, this is going to be a very good position for Team Onyx to be able to bring this game to 2-0 by taking out that Regieleki and sealing the game, because obviously there's no more goal zone that's going to defend on the top and also on the bottom lane from Team Dragon Lee.
Of course, but here you go. Only two, right? So, well, it's only three Pokemon, but look at the HP of the Lapras taking in the damage from 4 Pokemon.
Right.
Just for them to be able to secure that Regieleki. Man, this is going to be a huge wall here for Dragon Lee. Sure, Urshifu right now, she is currently at level 14, but being the only Pokemon at level 14 is still not going to cut it, as everyone else into the side of Onyx is still at 13, 14, 15. Everyone else is at 12 as well, and they have the positional advantage as well into that of Rayquaza. They don't even need to take the Rayquaza for them to win this, because even if they can give this Rayquaza into the side of Dragon Lee, they would still have enough points to actually go over the score of Dragon Lee if everyone scores 100.
Right, and there's 3 knockouts, and Ryota is able to take out the Alola Ninetales and also the Leafeon, which is very, very strong. But obviously, with the buff from the from the Regieleki that goes on to the mid lane, they're able to pick up some scores. And over here, I think 100 points is going to go in for Team Dragon Lee, but it's still fine. There's still the Rayquaza up for grabs for both teams, I believe.
Man, you really walked through the memory lane, huh? you still want the Rotom? You still want the Zapdos? I don't think anyone wants the Zapdos back.
Yep.
All right, but that is looking pretty bleak right now into the side of Dragon Lee. 629 to 118.
And obviously, with the, I do think that there was a bit of cooldown and unable to take the Solar Beam. The Solar Beam is not able to take knockout for the Rayquaza, and that's the surrender. And congratulations to Team Onyx, able to go to the next round, and Dragon Lee. Obviously, there's still another round on the lower bracket for them to get a rematch from Team Onyx. They're on to the round.
I guess that's one of the things that makes us really great as well for a community tournament, that we are following the WCS Asia rules, where we're playing everything at double eliminations, making sure that everyone still has a chance of getting back up. No. And man, I think that has been quite an amazing game, number one, that we've had. That is Onyx and Dragon Lee. And Dragon Lee definitely is one of the teams that we have to look forward to as well, because again, they have been playing a lot on the on the qualifiers as well, placing top 8 consistently as well. So that lower bracket is not going to, it's not going to face them. I'm pretty sure they would have to, they will get back up as well on the later rounds. But with that being said, we have to congratulate Onyx as well for winning our first streamed match. And, in just a bit, we're going to be preparing as well the next games. So make sure you don't go anywhere. We're going to be coming back in just a bit. We're going to take the short break for about like 5 minutes. So don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be right back. Okay, guys, welcome back to the tournament. We are back as our casters. Shaggy's gonna be coming back in just a bit, but for now, we have Birdie here. Birdie, introduce yourself for just a bit.
Hello, I'm Bertie, and I am from the Pokemon Unite Philippines.
Right. So, Birdie here not only is the one running the Philippine community as well, but also is the manager for
the Team Old Guys.
Yeah, okay.
The Team
So
Old Guys.
I already said it anyway. So the manager for Team Old Guys, one of the representatives in the World
APAC
Championships, coming in from the Philippines from the APAC East, region. So
Go Team Old Guys.
but they're not playing here, right?
They're not.
Why?
Well, if you notice, some of the players that will compete from the world are not.
Because they wanna. You guys wanna? Yeah. We get that. So anyway, we're gonna be starting in just a bit as well. I think the games are now set. Yeah, we can now start the game. There. Okay, I think we're still missing one more Pokemon. One more player.
Yeah.
Sorry. So. Yeah, Pokemon trainer, right? It's still, this is what we do in, 2D Ventures. We're just hanging out. We're just chilling. You might notice that we're not as formal as we are during, official broadcast.
Yeah.
Our observer is here as well, so you can see them. So
Show my observer.
there you go. We have the observer here. We have the directors and everything. So
we're just having fun, and this is what we're doing this for the community. Right?
Yeah. So are the players okay? We are now complete. We now have the go signal from the observer that's in front of us.
No, we're still missing one. One more.
JJ, you need to go up.
One more
what's
Pokemon
happening?
trainer.
You need to go up in admin.
Who are the teams that?
I forgot. Okay, I forgot to introduce the teams. Right. So we're too chill. Okay. So the teams that we're gonna be playing right now would have to be rated PG, which I'm pretty sure you guys are familiar if you are following the Asian Asian region, right? We have rated PG, and of course we do have Radiant as well coming in from West. So this is more of like APAC East versus APAC West kind of match.
Okay.
Unfortunately, we're not going to be seeing them fight off on the grand final stage, but this is the stage that they are at right now.
Yeah.
So with that, we are now going to be starting the game. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we start the game now and heading in onto our band base. Awesome.
Oh, okay.
What can you say about the current meta?
Well, for me, the current meta, from the first game, that's what I have always seeing in screams that you get to see Umbreon get banned,
Right.
And of course,
Which we do see now as well.
we do see now as well that Umbreon is getting banned, and we can see the RPG is banning Lapras,
Which is understandable as well because again, Lapras is currently one of the strongest. Well, actually, these two are the current strongest defenders in the game right now.
Yeah.
It's really hard to get knocked out. Can definitely tank out so much damage, and it provides so much utility for both the teams. Lapras Express into the side of Lapras, and of course we have the debuffs into the side of the Umbreon as well. So it's a really, really needed Pokemon to be banned.
Yeah, and I can say that Lapras and Umbreon can replace top laners or the all-rounders.
Right. That's one of the things that Shaggy actually mentioned earlier, right? Like, we have Buzzwole as one of the strongest top laner, but even Lapras and Umbreon can also solo top.
Yeah, even Blastoise can do that.
Right,
well,
which is why they're always leaving out this War Turtle to take on the Regieleki, right?
That's why some of the Pokemon that they're using or the team that they're using is they're having two defenders,
right,
in the tournaments because they're replacing all rounders to defenders.
So here you go. The first four here into the side of what do you call this? Radiant, right? We have the Urshifu, we have the Chandler, really huge damage dealers, and of course the ever so buffed Buzzwole as well. And we have the sustain in the form of the what it calls the Blissey, which not only provides what it calls sustain, but also provides crowd control if they so decide to choose Egg Bomb.
Yeah, but when you have Blissey on your team, it only focuses on one Pokemon.
Right.
Unlike Hoopa, Clefable,
right,
Eldegoss, that can sustain all of the team. Yeah.
Right. But here you go. Here are the picks into the read that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and if you have noticed in the World Championship that Greedent is very, very valuable in stopping those Pokemon who can sustain the team. Yeah.
And at the same time, it has this move as well that prevents it from getting crowd control as well.
Exactly.
What is this move? It's not. It's not Belch.
Fast and Furious.
Yeah, the Fast and the Furious.
I forgot
the Tokyo Drift move.
Yeah, the Tokyo Drift.
Man, I should know this. Right. So it prevents it from getting crowd control, just being an annoyance into the other team, and can be used as well to disrupt the enemy central area as well. But with that being said, there's not much of a crowd control into the side of RPG.
But they have but they still have Slowbro there.
Yeah, they have the Slowbro, but that's pretty much it. They do have the Dodrio that can have drill pack and can just score in here and there a lot, but they are really focusing in on the damage.
But having Slowbro, that might stop Urshifu and Buzzwole to go in because there's a Slowbro that can protect Delphox or Leafeon.
No, yeah, for sure. And at the same time, I just have to add into that, not only to stop them, but also, remove the damage that they have. Urshifu might have a huge damage. Buzzwole might get its 6 stacks. But once Scald is put up by the Slowbro, the damage that you've put up, that you've stacked up, gone.
Exactly. So right now we're seeing the start of the game. And what we can see here right now on our for the rated PG, that of course Dodrio will go in the central lane.
Right. And unfortunately, wasn't able to get in on the stats.
Okay.
But
so surprisingly, there. Well, obviously, should I say that Urshifu will go on the central lane for the Radiant. So I thought it would be Chandelure.
Right. No, honestly, it could go either way, honestly. But at the same time, the strategy here, I guess, into the side of Radiant is that they're going to have the carry of the game being that of the Urshifu, making sure that it gets its level 5 as much as possible, because it's pretty hard to get level 5 for the Urshifu if you're going to be putting it on the pod, maybe on the top of the bottom paths. So just getting its level 5 and maybe switch it up, later for the second wave of the central Pokemon could be the play of the game here for Radiant. But let's find out here, as Covet is still, trying to put up as much into that of the bottom pad, but Solar Blade is actually going to be the play here.
Yeah, I'm just a little bit surprised that Squavet didn't go to the central area. Right. Yeah. Well, that's the normal thing happening right now. The invader usually be Hoopa.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But, maybe that would be for later, because we all know for a fact that they still need to get other XPs as well for the late game going into that other Rayquaza. But coming down into the top path, we are definitely now seeing the power of the Urshifu and the Buzzwole all together while being retained by that of the Blissey.
Yeah.
Beautiful stuff.
I'm just a little bit, a little bit pity on Blissey, because, you have to sustain two Pokemon on the top lane.
And you have to, go along with them as well. If they're getting a little bit too fast, you're going to be left behind a bit. And, it's going to be hard for the Leafeon.
I mean, that's normal for Leafeon, but that's still very, very.
That is still very strong, though. But look at this. The Buzzwole is now going to be taken out. I think that's also one of the reasons why they're gunning in for that of the Hoopa, because Hyperspace can actually slow down. A Pokemon that's going to get hit by the bits of damage. But at the same time, there is also the Dodrio that can just put out that burst of damage into that of the Buzzwole, making sure that it's not going to have its Power Spike before the first major objective in the game. And at the same time, we also have the Slowbro here just waiting for that Scald to be put upon those two ADC Pokemon,
yeah.
2 carries into the side of Radiant.
It's just that the Hoopa really helps a lot with
Right.
Dodrio, especially in the mobility and changing lanes. Well, Dodrio can move fast up and down, but with Hoopa, it's very, very
even more so.
Mhm.
Even more so, definitely. But look at that right now. Blissey going to be able to try to score
we have
in,
to say
but it's fine.
Blissey, yeah.
It's fine, as long as they get into, as long as they can get into scores and maybe get into stacks as well.
Yeah, maybe that Blissey is getting it stacked for the heal, to upgrade the heal or make it stronger for the team.
With that being said, Triple Trample is going to be popped up immediately as early as now, just to get in some pick offs. But is that going to be enough though? Are they going to be able to take down the Registeel? Yes, they will. That is rated PG. Going to be able to take down the Registeel. Going to be able to take down 3 as well in the process.
Yeah.
Inside of Radiant, and this is what we're talking about. Sure, Radiant might have the damage, but rated PG removes that damage, allowing them to put out more than that of Radiant and just control the game altogether after that.
We just have to commend that Slowbro and how he pushed away the Buzzball to get to steal that objectives, right?
Right, but even more so, right? So they're not actually running Scald here. They're running Surf, right? Which then provides. It may not be providing the debuff, but it is providing crowd control, right? Without knock-ups. But even more so later at level 13, where it can get its Surf Plus, making sure that it knocks up at least 2 seconds up in the air, allowing their team to freely put out damage.
Yeah, I think that's why Slowbro picked that Surf, because they have 2 assassins, if you will notice, for the rated PG, so that 2 assassins can easily get inside the clash.
Right, no, for sure. And with that being said, these assassin Pokemon, these they can essentially put out so much of a burst, and if they kind of fail in terms of what do you call it? They have a pretty soft defenses, right? So if they fail of taking them out, then it's going to be their HP is going to be going down 0. But with that being said, there's going to be 2 into the side of Radiant and 4 Pokemon into rated PG. Now securing this Regieleki. I don't think it's going to be enough of a time here for them to secure this Regieleki. But Gradient was able to take down the Hoopa. The Hoopa. No, just the Hoopa. Just the Hoopa.
Oh, okay, sorry. Oh my god.
Yeah, because the Gradient's face went up. Yeah.
That's pretty nice. But what Gradient is doing is the right way. Right. How you use Gradient. You have to be in the middle of the clash or the middle of the objective, that if you really want to steal it or get it.
To basically, annoy the other team by doing all your Gradient shenanigans. And honestly, it was quite a great risk as well for the Gradient, just because of the fact that it's just one Pokemon that's going to be taken out in case, right? And well, they got taken out, and there's also 2 now after the Regibottom. But with that being said, it's still not a lot. It's only like 251 to 76. They can still catch up pretty well.
Yeah, because the Pokemons of the Radiant team most of them are late gamers,
right?
Like Buzzball and Urshifu. But Urshifu can be strong in the early game, but they still have chance, to come back at the late game.
Right, but we have to remember as well that George Rio right now, Interceptor rated PG, is currently at level 14. Sure, it might not have much of a damage, might not have a lot of defenses, but the damage and the crowd control it provides, team rated PG is just enormous right now. And I think we are going to check in our game feed at the moment to come back again to it. But here you go. Okay, there we go. We're back. There you go. Definitely sorry for that technical delays. But going back here, Eggman is going to be popped up as well. And here comes the fireworks. But not going to be enough, though.
Yep, that's not enough, to destroy that goal zone. But I think they will be able to. They were able to defend that goal zone. Because that's the thing that what RPG I think it's aiming to do right now, since they don't have like objectives to get, they will now defend their goal zone.
Right, and here you go, 267 to 76, still looking pretty bleak here inside of Radiant, and I like how much Rated PG. Just like to give props here to Rated PG, because they just with this game alone, I can see that they have improve a lot from the qualifiers, because Radiant is one of the top teams as well, coming in from that of Indonesia. And Rated PG, they've always been, they never got into the top 4 during the qualifiers, right? But I think if they were able to bring this game into the qualifiers, I think they can pretty easily reach top 3.
Yeah, but what I can see here for the Rated PG is that they just don't throw their skills. They have they have good synergy when releasing their skills.
Right. But here you go. Rayquaza is going to be up the last 2 minutes of the game. Ladies and gentlemen, and all trainers alike, this is it. The final moment of this match. Let's find out who's going to be able to take down this Rayquaza.
Remember that our Radiant have 3 teams who can do great damage to last hit Rayquaza.
Oh, Telekinesis.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Telekinesis is going to be able to take down this Udent, but very flat. Wow, that is still a mouthful to say, and we haven't been saying it for quite a while. Berry Belly, whatever that is, I forgot the name. It's a mouthful. But what matters here is that the Buzzwole is going to be able to take down that Greedent. That's going to be 1 down into the side of Radiant. Rated PG almost here as well. But the Emerald 2-step, not going to do a lot here, but they're going to be able to end it up. There's going to be 3 down inside of Radiant as well. Solar Beam is going to be popped up, but it's going to be a team wipe right now for the Rated PG. And now they're going to be able to secure this Rayquaza, increase the gap that they have against Radiant, and I think that also secures the game for themselves.
And they're still trying to defend because we still have 40 seconds, JJ.
Right.
We still have 40 seconds. If Team Radiant will wipe out the Rated PG, they'll still have a chance, to score and win. But let's see if they can do that.
Yeah, here's the thing, right? Like even if they can take out everyone into the side of Rated PG, the first factor is they don't have enough points to actually catch up to Rated PG. But even if they do, 40 seconds. Well, it is quite a long time. It is quite a long time. But now that we are like 20 seconds,
almost 10 seconds right now, and I think this game will belong to
Rated PG. Man, and that just like that, Rated PG gonna be taking up the first game of this match. Again, guys, upper brackets round 3 is happening. Is it round 3? It is round 3.
Round 3,
round 3, round 4. Is it
round
3? Yeah, it is round 3. we're not even sure. Why are we not sure? Yeah, so that's going to be our first match here, Rated PG versus Radiant. And Radiant, they I'm pretty sure they're going to be coming back, and it's very likely that we might be able to see a game number 3 even.
Can I just say that how Blissey protects that Chandelure at the Rayquaza fight? That is the right way to support an attacker. You will not leave your attacker behind. Even though you'll see a Pokemon that you can just hit it with one hit, you will stay beside your attacker and sustain that Pokemon. Even so, likewise with Rated PG, how Hoopa and Slowbro didn't leave the side of that Delphox.
Right. It's quite I think we can now go back to the lobby as well, right? We're gonna be going back to the lobby in just a bit. There you go. There you go. Yeah, so I just want to add up, it just kind of reminds me as well of the times when we were still playing in a remote stadium, right? And Blissey being one of the Pokemon that's always paired up with the Venusaur, right?
And Greninja.
And Greninja, making sure that they are going to be staying alive while they dish out damage as much as they can. And it still works today. That basically, the point is it still works today. And as long as you can support your attackers, your carries in the game, everything's going to work out. And unfortunately for Radiant, it didn't work out. But the window that this Blissey is giving out to the Urshifu and that of the Buzzwole was just great.
Yeah, exactly. But for me, I think because of the Pokemon composition that the Radiant did there is, I would suggest that if you're going to go with Blissey, I would just stick with Buzzwole or Urshifu. Because
Just either or.
either
No,
or.
not both.
Yeah, not both.
Okay.
For either or, because those two Pokemons will really go inside the clash while
Right.
Chandelure will be behind.
Right.
If they have like good defender with very good crowd control who can also protect that Chandelure. Because in RPG they have Dodrio. Dodrio can just go around and be an assassin and kill that Chandelure. But that what will help Chandelure is some defender who can
Can be the cover basically.
Yeah, cover for
the upcoming damages. Right. So, I mean, this it's quite interesting how you actually think about these stuff, and we're getting a bit of an insight as well.
Coach.
We're getting a bit of an insight coming in from one of I guess one of the obviously the manager of one of the teams coming into the World Championships. So it's a really interesting insight coming in from you, because obviously as casters, I think every caster can say this as well, that while we can analyze the game, study the game, it's still a different kind of like take when the players are looking over the game. No, it's like we have a different way of taking things. So sure, this is something that if you do this, then we can only speculate why you're thinking this. But obviously, when you're already playing the game, it's still a different kind of like a view on how you're gonna be thinking, why you're doing this and that. So that is a really great insight that's gonna be coming from you as well.
Well, I just want to in line with that, because I just also learned it from the players, not just from the old guys, of course, for the other teams that I'm always playing, and that's why you should play with everyone, not just because of you're just going to play because that person is strong. You're going just to play.
Wait.
No, because they know that I'm playing really with everyone, and sometimes I join the scream of old guys. That's why I've learned those kinds of stuff.
Right, and speaking of joining as well, I think we're gonna be joining the game.
We're joining the game. Well. I think they're complete.
This is now going to be game number 2 of rated PG and Radiant, and here we go, going into the
banning phase.
Sorry, here you go.
Let's see if Umbreon will be banned again. But I don't. Oh yeah.
It's still going to be banned, but
Umbreon
it's quite interesting that
banned.
everyone has a different take on their fans.
Umbreon will still be banned. But for the Radiant side, I haven't seen anybody. But I think it's Zoroark. You know what, Zoroark? Correct me if I'm wrong. Zoroark is the only Pokemon who can escape the mean look of Umbreon.
Really?
Yeah.
With a feint?
Yeah.
With feint
with
or
the illusion. If you saw that you've been hit by the illusion, I've been hit by the mean look, immediately activate your illusion and the mean look will be gone.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a weird intro. Because
I've learned it from Shua, from Avis, and Sinquan of old guys.
Really?
Yeah,
because it's targeting the Pokemon that you currently are.
Oh wait, ano yun ha?
So
that's a fun fact. Yeah,
it's because it's target. I haven't seen that. But it's targeting the Pokemon that you currently are. So if you change to a different Pokemon or go back to
Min will be gone. As same with Blastoise and Machamp. So if Blastoise is doing the rapid spin,
because you're unstoppable.
What's that? No. But Machamp can stop that. What's the skill? The balibag.
No. Sorry, I got caught off guard. It's submission.
Yeah, the submission can stop Blastoise rapid spin. Take note of that, guys. Yeah.
The balibag.
Yeah.
The RKO.
The RKO, yeah. The RKO.
Submission. Dude, I got caught off guard with the
Sorry.
The balibag.
The balibag. The Brusco Bros.
Yeah. Whoa. It's the first time to see Aegislash in the tournament going back, and also Cramorant.
Yeah, Cramorant is one of honestly, even to this date, does provide one of the heaviest damage in the game for a lot of reason. For a lot of reason, but it's very squishy.
It's very squishy, but have a lot of skills to escape.
Right. It does a dive.
Even the surf.
Even surf, actually, yeah.
It can escape those Pokemon who are going to the.
Yeah, because like surf provides knockoff, dive, essentially just an escape button. We have Feather Dance as well, just to get away as well. But with that being said, here are the Pokemon that's going to be used here by both of the teams. Radiant with the Lapras, Leafeon. Lapras, Leafeon, Age/Blissey, and Alolan Ninetales. But into the side of RPG, rated PG, we have the Slowbro, we have the Hoopa, the Delphox, the Cramorant, and the Dodrio. What do you think about this? As I guess coming in from the perspective of someone
all I can say here is what I have noticed that if there is a attacker that is a mid-range, you do have a mid-range skill.
Right.
What I'm trying to say here is that unlike you and Venusaur who can do the long range skills, those teams they don't have it. Usually in the worlds, if they see a mid-range burst attacker, they will automatically pick Mew and Venusaur with the solar beam. But for this team they don't have it. But they have that Pokemon.
sorry. Which one? Ninetales?
Aegislash.
There you go.
Yeah, Aegislash can bring a very good CC during Clash because of the King Shield.
That's true. Yeah, that is true. It provides twice the knockup, and if you get hit once, and
it can cancel out a lot of skills.
That is true. That is true. Right. If you get hit by the King Shield first, right, you're almost guaranteed to get hit by the knockup for the second one as well. But with that being said, I think rated PG
Aegislash is down. Oh, not yet Aegislash.
It's a
Honedge.
Honedge, yeah. Honedge, Doublade, and
Aegislash.
Right. But what's good here for Radiant is no. RPG, right? Radiant is the one on the right side, and Rated PG is the one on the right side.
Right side.
Radiant is the one on the left side. There you go. So what's good here is at the very least they are making sure that this Aegislash wouldn't be able to get in its power spike, especially even if it's a Doublade. Sure,
level 7.
Right. Yeah. Even if it's a Doublade, it already provides a lot of damage, but at the same time,
But it's the same with the RPG. Delphox, they need to have the power spike first before they can get into the fight with Delphox.
Right, which is really great as well, right? For both of the teams because we get to see a bit of I wouldn't say a balance. Composition for both.
I can say it's balanced.
Really?
Yeah, I can say it's balanced.
Okay. And entertain me. There you go. Entertain me.
Well, yeah. For the Radiant, they have good CC. I mean, there's Ninetales, there's Lapras, and there's Aegislash.
Right.
But Delphox Fire Spin. That will really help a lot for the rated PG, especially for the Dodrio.
Wouldn't you say then that there's more crowd controls and more damage into the side of Radiant compared to into the side of rated PG than the side of Radiant here? Because not only do they have Surf, they have crowd control. They have Fire Spin. They have access to another Surf into the side of the Cramorant as well, which can provide a lot of crowd control into the side of rated PG, allowing them to freely hit down anyone into the side of Radiant. But Radiant only has they have Tree as well, but they are even more so. They are squishier, I'd say, than that.
They're squishy, but what I can say here is that because of dive and the fire spin that the Delphox will use, they can really easily escape those high damager from the Radiant. But at the same time, I think if that fire spin or let's say the surf of Slowbro will fail, that's where the Leafeon and the Aegislash will enter to take down all the Pokemons of RPG.
But that's a huge if, though.
Yeah,
that is a huge if. In comparison to rated PG, where it's more of a consistent kind of play going into the game. But as I say that, it looks like they are getting a little bit inconsistent right now, as 3 of them are going to be taken down. Leafeon is going to be able to secure this Regirock as well in the process. Radiant currently in the lead right now. So going to take down Reggie Rock and just going to try to take this Reggie Lucky as well. Try to get in some positional advantage against that of Rated PG. So just in case everyone is getting confused as well, once again, Rated PG is the one on the orange side, the one on the right side, and Radiant is the one on the left side. Yes.
Yeah. So if you will notice here also, why is Radiant is now leading? They're doing the Ube strat. Are you familiar with the Ube strat?
Okay.
That's what I am noticing right now, and you will see where the RPG is. They have two Pokemons at the bottom, two Pokemons at the top, or three at the top to secure those objectives.
Yes.
I haven't seen RPG in with four man doing the securing the objectives as of now.
Right. And with that being said, we are seeing that take into that Reggie Ilecki. It is going to be Radiant's Reggie Ilecki though this time around. But in this case, they are now slowly but surely, getting back up against that uprated PG, getting in the objectives, getting in the XPs as well. They are almost the same. And look at that. Going to be able to take down 3 into the side of Radiant and securing the first score goal before the Reggie Elect comes in. And just like that, they are now trying to push down for that of the second tier score goal, which would definitely be a huge help for them if they can put the Reggie Elect in. And they did as well, taking down 3 in the process, and going to be able to destroy the second tier score goal as well immediately the moment the Reggie Elect came in.
It's Ube strat. That's that's what I am noticing right now on the Radiant side. But I think that is also good strategy what the RPG is doing, because there's a lone Pokemon at the other side of the map to defend the goal zone for them not to be able to shoot, because they still have Leafeon who can do to sneak and shoot.
Right, but here you go. Gatling Gulp Missile is going to be popped up now by the Kramer, and look at the damage. Sure, it might not look a lot going against a Lapras, because let's be honest, Lapras has a very huge HP pool here. But that that text of damage to the HP of the Lapras is already a lot.
Exactly, and if you will see here that Dodrio is trying to go behind the back of the Radiant for it to kill the Ninetales, and I think that is also good on what the RPG is doing, because once the Ninetales release that Blizzard, it will just hit the assassin, but it will give more opportunity for the Fox and Cramorant to burst damage, because there's no Ninetales who can do that on their side.
Right, and here you go. Radiant now still 319 to 101 into rated PG.
But the level is not that far.
Huh? Yeah, the level is not that far. Even more so, anyone could take the Rayquaza in comparison to the game that we've had in game number 1, where we can definitely see the the landslide coming in from one team to the other. But this time around, sure, they might be leading in points. Radiant is, but it's still an equal footing for both of them.
I don't want to conclude right now because there's still, of course, Rayquaza is still there.
Yeah.
But I still believe that the both teams' composition are still balanced. There's still, I think, RPG will still have a chance, to have a successful clash when it comes to Rayquaza. But again, the CCs of Radiant are too powerful.
Right, and here you go. Coming in up top, Gulp Miss. And look at the damage immediately.
There you go.
Into that of the Leafeon. That's what I'm talking about with the Cramorant being one of the highest damage dealing Pokemon in the game, even to this date. And again, Lapras doesn't do it any justice, but it does have a lot of damage in it.
That's Perishong for you.
That is Perishong, definitely.
Even in VGC, I'm scared in Perishong. Especially if there's anyway, let's talk about it. That's a different game. The shadow tag.
we don't start with that. Shadow Tag, Fire Song, BGC.
Shadow Tag, Fairy Song.
Can't escape.
Yeah.
All right, but anyway, going back to Unite because we're playing not VGC here.
Yeah,
we're gonna be going back into that Rayquaza as the last 2 minutes of the game is now up, but at the same time, Radiant has destroyed 3 Squircles now into the side of Rated PG. The only way for them to actually catch up into Radiant is if they can take in this Rayquaza. But Rated PG is not making it easy.
Yep. But I think what Rated PG is trying to do here is to pick up at least one Pokemon before they can start the Rayquaza.
Right.
If you will see how the Dodrio is, looking for that squishy Pokemon for the Radiant side. But right now, what I'm seeing on the Radiant side is now they're just defending their goals.
Right, which is actually good because they are leading in terms of score, and Radiant here can have the Dodrio as well, just score in. So they're making sure that they're checking, they're marking the Dodrio not to be able to split push into the side of Radiant. So this is a very beautiful play here from from Radiant.
Yep, and I think they have Cramorant is still
running away.
Still running away.
Trying to get some scores.
I think because the Lapras is now and the Lapras. I mean,
the Dodrio was able to take out the Leafeon. And one more Aegis Slash. Oh no, going into the defensive mode. The shield form. Is it going to be doing a lot? Yes. No, it won't actually. The reverse Uno card played upon the Dodrio. And I think that is it.
Yeah. Oh no, I haven't noticed we doesn't.
It's already less
anymore. Yeah.
And that was very close though. That was very close for both of the team. Radiant and Rated PG here, right? It's if only that Dodrio was able to score in that 50, then I think that would break the form of Radiant and would disrupt it, allowing them to actually get the game. But unfortunately, that Dodrio was getting marked a lot, and
especially when the Dodrio found the hiding spot of the Ninetales. That's where they the protect Ninetales happened for the Radiant team.
Right.
But I think for me, what could have happened is that Hoopa gave way for Dodrio to be able to kill that Ninetales. If that Hoopa's Unite move, the Unbound.
Rings Unbound,
Unbound.
There you go. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, all change alike. This is going to
be
it's
a 1-1.
Yeah, it's going to be our first game 3 for this stream. So later on, we'll be joined in here by. Are you gonna be? We're gonna be. Are you gonna do it? No. So we're gonna be joined in by Shaggy and Burger Kim. Right, for the next game.
Yeah.
There you go. Right. So, smells nice. Sorry. It smells nice in here. Sorry. But we're gonna be joining up the lobby in just a bit. We're just trying to grab in the players. And then immediately after, once they are in, then we're gonna be playing the games as as fast as possible. But with that being said, who do you think is going to be, who do you think is going to be go on top on game number 3? Because again, we've seen how Rated PG played on game number 1, game number 2 as well, how Radiant played. But at the same time, even for both of those games, right? They in terms of macro play, in terms of team play, in terms of their composition. Okay, let me start with composition. In terms of their composition, I would have to give it. Thank you very much. I would have to give it. I would have to give it for game number 2. I would have to give it to Rated PG, right? I think they have a better composition than that of Radiant. But in terms of like the macro play and the team play, I think they are pretty on equal footing for both of the teams. So the Pokemon is just a Pokemon until someone uses them. So who do you think is going to be going on top for game number 3?
Actually, I don't want to choose team because on game 1 we have seen how good the RPG is, and for the game 2 we have seen the Radiant. But it will really depend on the game 3.
Are you getting distracted by the smile?
No. I just can't think of a team that can
be on top.
For the game 3, because what I have seen for the Radiant team Radiant composition on the game 2 is very much okay, but what they did there is good to protect the heavy damage dealer. What I've seen that happen for the rated PG is a little bit error.
Right.
Because if you notice that Hoopa didn't unite during the Rayquaza fight.
Right. Okay, so with that being said, because we already have that foundation anyway, right? What do you think now is both of the teams? Okay, let's not choose a team anymore, but instead, let's look at the things that these teams are lacking from the previous games that they can improve on going into game number 3. Okay. So let's start off, I guess, with rated PG.
With the rated PG, I think if they could just give a good CC for their assassin or for their speedster, they will have a great advantage.
And then just follow through with the damage.
Yeah, follow through with the damage. But and for the Radiant, I think they just have to continue on what they're doing for their defender and support, not to leave the side of their attacker or a speedster.
Right.
Because once they leave their heavy damage dealer alone, it's a goodbye for them.
That is that's actually a good analysis as well. That's one of the things, right? The moment that they kind of scatter, their formation gets broken, and they just they can get easily picked off.
Yeah, I think that would be the weakness of Radiant if they stop the Ube strat. If they get scatter or their heavy damage dealer will be alone. That will be their weakness for the Radiant.
This term, this Ube strat,
for those
came from a different game, right?
For the different game.
Just in case, for those who are watching right now, don't know Ube strat, I think our director here knows the Ube strat
very well.
And our observers wearing the jacket as well for God knows reason why. Can we explain what the Ube strat is?
Ube strat means ultimate bonding experience. And that strategy is you have to go and fight all together. There will be no one left behind.
No one left behind.
Yeah,
there you go.
And that's
5-man rotation. Basically.
Yeah, 5-man rotation. Yeah, because what I have noticed also from the other teams, and for the other teams, that it will just be a 3-man or 4-man rotation.
Right. And
someone will always leave to defend the goal zone on the other side of the
Right. And I think we're just waiting for one more trainer, one more player, right? I believe that is the side of Radiant. Yeah, that's the side of Radiant because we just had.
I can't see.
We just had rated PG on the right side, right? So it's gonna be Radiant this time around. So there you go.
Yeah.
I wonder if we do have some updates with the players now.
I think we're still waiting for one more player. While we're waiting for the one more player, JJ will eat McDo.
Wait, hey. Not yet.
That's not we're not sponsored by that fast food restaurant.
Dude, I wish. Right? I wish. We wish.
Let's shout out, but we can see the.
Yeah, we can. Okay, never. Well, are you still gonna shout? Because
we're complete. Yeah,
we're complete now. All right, so we're gonna be starting the game right now. Going in on the draft phase, ladies and gentlemen, and all trainers alike. As you can see, everyone is complete here right now, and Umbreon's still gonna be bad, right? Yeah, right. Umbreon, come on.
But we're seeing Chandelure is getting banned because of the brown out.
Because it's
really annoying. It's really annoying.
It actually, the Unite move.
Yeah, you will just when you are about to kill a Pokemon and
you're gonna get what do you call this status? No, it's
blind.
Yeah, the blind. Yeah, you're gonna get blind. But the thing is, right? It only blinds one Pokemon, right? It only blinds one target.
No, it's the whole team.
Is it the whole team?
Yeah, it's the whole team. Yeah, I know it's the whole team. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section. I know it's the whole team. You will be blinded.
Right, so everyone is gonna be blinded, and then you wouldn't know where the what it was, where it's actually is overheat. That unite move, the animation of a unite move actually came from Pokken. You're familiar with Pokken, right?
Pokken.
So
really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Pokken is actually overheat. So
yeah, even the unite move of Delphox.
Yeah. So what call this? Shoot. Overheat is the name of the game. If you charge A in Pokken, you will use that overheat.
Okay.
So that is the move that comes after the blind.
Yeah.
So overheat, and you won't be able to see where it's going to be coming from once you use midnight.
Midnight Sonata. You know that.
Hey. But it's a unite move of
I didn't know that. Okay.
Chandler. Yeah.
But right now we have seen RPG banned Lapras.
Right.
Yeah, because Lapras really gives
Lapras
high damage. That Perish Tongue is really annoying.
Yeah, I mean,
and Unite in VGC. Nice. We have seen Snorlax. We are seeing Snorlax.
Right. I mean, like there's always it's almost always the case, right? Like you're going to try to dive in on a team, right? And it's always the case where just one hit is all it needs to finally take down the Pokemon, but
I knew they're going to choose Clefable because there's a Zoroark in RPG.
It almost never happens. That's why, the Lapras can definitely be of help, but unfortunately it is gonna be banned. But as you have mentioned, Clefable is
it's not yet. Oh,
let's
are
see.
you sure?
What do you think? Okay, just speak your mind. Speak your mind.
Well, there's a Snorlax who can stop that Zoroark.
Right.
But yeah. There's also Espeon who can
convert
move of Espeon. Yeah, but I don't think
Slayer.
Buzzwole will have a hard time to catch that Zoroark. So, but Buzzwole is very, very useful for that Ninetales and Cramorant.
But I mean, I guess that is also why they chose the Blissey, just because of the fact that it has Egg Bomb, which can essentially interrupt Zoroark.
But Egg Bomb is too slow, Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but once you put it at the right timing, though, then immediately it is hard.
Yeah.
But these are pro teams, so I'm pretty sure they've already practiced this. So
exactly. But yeah, I think why they choose Snorlax and Blissey for their side of Radiant to stop them from getting inside Hoopa's hole.
Hoopa's
hyperspace hole.
Yeah, there you go. The elevator.
Yeah, the elevator. That's what they call it. The elevator. Or teleporting you back.
Right,
home.
To the base.
Why are you laughing with a hole? It's really a hole.
It actually it is. It is a spatial.
Yeah.
Moving on. Moving on.
Yeah. Well. We have two evolutions. I think this is the first time we see two evolutions in a team.
In a team, yeah. Because earlier we only had like the Umbreon. We have just
more on Leafeon.
More on Leafeon, because we cannot dismiss the fact that it provides so much damage, to the opposing team. And honestly, it's very squishy. Leafeon. This is what I think. This is the thing that I really like about Leafeon. It's I'd say it's balanced. Sure, the damage is a bit high, but it takes like 3-4 hits for it to go down. If you can catch it,
Yeah. More on you have to use all of your skills. Even the Unite move to take down one Pokemon, or 2 or 3 if they're all together.
Right.
Oh, look at this! Snorlax is trying to invade, but
was able
no avail.
But actually, they were actually able to take down the what do you call this? The central area, right? The invade, but the main deal here is that the Snorlax is just going to delay the XP into the side of Rated PG. So again, I mean, like it kind of did its job, but obviously it would be better if they were able to secure that buffs away from Rated PG.
I want to share something, but
sure.
let's
go ahead.
There's a clash happening, and Snorlax is down.
Are you gonna be
Shedinja
sharing?
doll is being used. Oh, two Shedinja dolls are on the side of the Radiant.
Right.
Is it Radiant on the
Right.
orange thing?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
They're using two Shedinja dolls.
Right. Which is
Yeah.
actually one of the not stronger, but like one of the not one of the, but is the newest battle item in the game, which makes you unable to act, but you're unable to be. You won't be able to take out any damage as well. But I think it's kind of like a high risk, high reward kind of like a battle item, just because of the fact that sure, you might not be able to take out damage, but at the same time, you're not going to be able to put up damage.
Oh, Zoroark
but
is down
you know,
by the Leafeon.
you're also not going to be able to move.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Especially Shedinja doll is very scary to use when the crowd control skill of the other team is not yet being used.
That's true. That's true because they're just gonna be waiting for you to get back up, and they're just gonna use your crowd controls on you. But there you go. We have the Zoroark putting up the damage. Buzz will almost half health HP as well. 2 KOs coming in from the Leafeon. Radiant right now radiating,
shining, shimmering,
splendid.
but we are seeing a good performance from Zoroark on the side of RPG, right?
That is true. That is true. But here's the thing,
that's
right?
the example.
But here's the thing: rated PG, right? It's not just Zoroark playing. They still need to, make sure that everyone else can catch up into that Zoroark, so they can help out on the team fights. Because if this because Zoroark is going to be alone, then it's not going to fare as much into the side of Radiant. But as you can see there, Emerald 2-step going to be popped up as well to finally take down this Zoroark. And with that being said, actually it's fine if they were able to take in the Zoroark, because all the Zoroark was doing is putting out the damage, but even more so just buying in some time to take out this Regieleki for their own team.
Yeah.
But look at this right now. Radiant doing their best to defend their score goal from that of the Regieleki.
Yeah.
Oh, but Zoroark's back now.
Espeon is to the rescue, but
they were able to take down the Alolan Ninetales and the first year score goal as well. So I'd still say that this is still a win into the side of rated PG. Taking down 2 in the process, sure, they might be on the disadvantage.
Both assassins are, taking kills.
Right.
Both sides of the team.
Right. And, 11-16, 11-7, 11-6, and 11-7. Wow.
It's just one.
It's
one
point lead. Still not a lot.
Yeah.
It's not a lot. It might as well go back to 0-0.
0-0. Yeah. Well, right now we are seeing Radiant is not doing the Ubi strat anymore.
You really want us to use it? Did I think?
Yeah, because if you see, I've seen a lot that Radiant's Blissey is always alone.
Right. Here you go. Psychic Slayer gonna be popped up as well,
and that's what I like about how they did to Espeon. Also, it give this Pokemon more mobility, but it's not using the story power. I thought it's using that one, but it's using the what do you call that skill? The other one.
Wait, which Pokemon?
It's Espeon. Psyshock. Yeah, Psyshock.
Yeah. There you go. Right. It's using stored power.
Yeah. No. I thought that the Espeon is using the stored power, but I just saw that the Espeon picked the Psyshock.
Psyshock. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Going back into the bottom path, we have the Registeel up, providing attack and special attack. But Paranap, is it going to be enough to take it out?
Yep.
Yes, it will be. They're going to be able to take down this Registeel away from rated PG. Putting in the damage 2-for-2 trade. Here's the name of the game, but it's still not going to be enough. Buzzwole is still putting out the damage. They're going to be able to take down this. Oh my goodness, Ahuba's going to be taken down as well. 2 down into the side of rated PG. No, make a 3 even more so. After that, they'll make a 4 with the Slowbro as well. They're still not done with their mayhem. And with that being said, I think what the next thing to do here is just go in on the Regieleki, and from there on out, man, it's I think Radiant is on a pretty good place right now. As long as they don't get in a lot of risks, just as they are doing right now. Look at that. Leafeon's almost taken out with the Scald as well, removing the damage coming in from that. Going to be able to take it out as well in the process. 3v2 right now. There's going to be 2 down into the side of Radiant. Going in for the extra score here. Another one. Slowbro trying to get away, but all they need to do now is just push it away and just destroy this versus score goal down bottom.
Yep. Rated PG was able to catch up with the score immediately after that clash on the Registeel earlier.
With that being said, that's going to be the final Regieleki as well. Going to be taken out by Radiant, but that it's still a bit of an early take here for Radiant.
Yeah, but they have to do it.
But they have to do it, obviously, because
get more for their Unite.
That is true. That is true. And at the same time, they're just going to be risking it to Rated PG taking it away from them. But Radiant taking it as early as like 4-minute mark will just allow Rated PG ample time to actually make it run away, which they did just now. So Regieleki is now going to be out of the game 30 minutes before the 30 seconds, not minutes. 30 seconds before the Rayquaza comes out. Man, I'm thinking a different game here. But Registeel is going to be coming up as well. Into that Radiant definitely has a huge advantage right now into that of the Rayquaza fight because of the buffs coming in from the Registeel.
And right now we are seeing, because of that early kill for the Regieleki, there will be definitely a team fight that will happen during when Rayquaza is now.
Now everyone has Unite moves.
Everyone has Unite.
The advantage is on the side of Radiant because
we're seeing that.
The flank.
Yep.
The flank, is it going to be enough though? Not quite yet. Leafeon's going to be able to answer back to the Cramorant, going to be able to take down 2 in the process. That is a Cramorant and the Zoroark. It's going to be 2 down, 3 down. 3 now is left into that Rated PG. Radiant can just radiate their power towards that of Rated PG.
But take note, Hoopa have still their Unite move and waiting for the.
It's not going to be enough though because there's still a respawn timer here for the side of Rated PG.
But they can still stop it. I think they can still stop it.
Would they be able to stop it? They still have like a minute left.
Yep,
they still have an ample amount of time here to actually stop Radiant. But the question is, would they be able to do so? 271 to 283, still not a lot here.
Yeah. So I think Rated PG has still got a chance to get back up or catch up with the score.
Only Hoopa has 50 points. Hoopa has 50 points. Are they going to be able to score this? Because if they can, actually, never mind. They don't need to score 50. They just need to score as slow as they can, so they can they can dunk in the score. So either the Alolan Ninetales, maybe even the the Slowbro, just one of these 2, 3 Pokemon. There we go. Okay, never mind. Radiant still winning because they got into the score first. So they still need one more score. Just one. 30 seconds. Oh my goodness. The Hoopa's going to be able to stop it, right?
Oh no. Zoroark is down.
Is down? Okay.
Cramorant was able to score 6 points. That makes
There you go. Look at that.
Yeah.
280 to 295 to 283. 10 seconds is left, and there's not enough time for Radiant to come back against Rated PG.
Has no idea that they're not in the lead anymore.
Oh, wow. It's... Man, that is excruciating. That is heartbreaking, especially now that they are about to find out about the score. Look at how close it is.
Oh well.
Rated PG. Man, no worries. I mean, it was a very close game. Could have been anyone's game. And as we can see, for about like 5 seconds, 6 seconds, we were able to see them both at the same score. But even more so since, with the rule of Pokemon, the tiebreaker here is whoever gets the score first, right? So that being Radiant.
I think what happened there is that Radiant was really confident that they are
enough points.
Yep.
And that is true. But at the same time, Rated PG definitely did a really good job as well into removing the shields. The shields coming in from that Radiant, which likewise score back into the side of Radiant's side of the field. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for our Game with Super Stream Game 3. No, that's the second match. The second match of the
second
stream.
match.
Game number 3, rated PG versus Radiant. Radiant, we're gonna be seeing them still on the lower bracket. We might be able to stream them later down the road, but for now, that is it. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after the short break. But with you guys, it's going to be Burger Kim and Ryu Shaggy casting for the next game. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Bye.
Hi guys, welcome back to the 2DV Community Cup for Pokemon Unite. Right now with me here, I'm Shingy from Indonesia with Swarly.
Yeah, what's up? I'm actually one of the organizers of this tournament, and I was obsing a while ago, and no choice. Yeah,
Sure.
it was JJ.
Sure.
I had no choice. So, yeah, please carry me later.
Sure. So moving on, we do have our third game on stream today, which is going to be Vietnam. The first Vietnamese team against another Philippine team is an Aumento versus Beehive. So if we are ready, we can go directly onto the game and start with the pick and ban match. Oh, I do wait.
Yep.
Are the players ready?
Yeah, we're hopping into the draft right now. So Umbreon has been banned as well as Slowbro.
Yeah,
pretty rigid brands today. I have to say.
I think most of the bans are obviously like the second pick is Umbreon. The first pick can be Slowbro, Lapras. We've seen Zoroark. Again, there's a lot of Pokemon that is being banned, but not for the second pick. It's always been Umbreon. We've seen Urshifu, and with the combo of Clefairy being picked by Beehive, while Isen is picking up Zoroark and Hoopa, which is actually an interesting pick, knowing that Clefairy has been picked by the opponent as the gravity should be countering Zoroark and also Leafeon at the same time.
Ooh. I think this is also the first time we're seeing that today.
Sylveon. Not Lapras. Lapras, we've seen a lot of Lapras. We've seen banned. Sylveon.
Sylveon, yeah. There we go.
It's the first time we see Sylveon today. I think Sylveon is one of the Pokemon on the evolutions that is an attacker that's actually quite tanky. We've seen it being very tanky and very much durable against team fights with the Mystical Fire, with the Draining Kiss, and as well if the opponent has a lot of special attackers, they can just use the Calm Mind and also the Hyper Voice at the same time. And what's most interesting is to see a Sarina here in the game. I don't think I've seen the Sarina in a long time, because I know that we've seen a lot of like Buzzwole, we've seen a lot of Lapras, a lot of other Pokemons are being picked as the top lane, whereas over here Sarina is going to be the pick for Beehive.
Let's see if it does work out for them, since you did say we haven't seen it for a while. So maybe this Pokemon be a surprise pick that works out for them.
Sorry, come again?
I mean, we'll see if it will be a surprise pick that works out for them. Because it's always a gamble, right? When you pick off meta. Because I was talking with JJ, right? He said the APAC region was all about just pick whatever works, right? They don't really care about the meta too much.
Yeah, whatever works for them.
Whatever works.
Various different meta. I think in the Asia region we have seen a lot of the water style or the rapid strike Urshifu, whereas on the western side we've seen a lot more single strike Urshifu. I think it's one of the Pokemon that I feel that it's a bit different in terms of the meta. We've seen a lot of Decidueye as well on the western side, not as much on our side. So I'm going to be very interested to see on how things will go out later on during the Worlds later on this year on Yokohama, because all the competition is going to be combined. All the teams are going to be combined, and a lot of teams are not experienced in playing against each other, only by what's being streamed on the stream. So, on the top left side is not rated PG, by the way. It's Isen, whereas on the right hand side it's going to be Beehive, and we've seen Kopfu on the mid against obviously Leafeon on the mid from Isen side.
I'm excited for this Urshifu because he's also one of the Pokemon that I've only been playing when I do play Pokemon Unite.
Yeah, man, it's been stolen in terms of the first buff Pokemon, obviously, because we do know that Snorlax is very strong in terms of trying to invade the jungle of the opponents, and once again, Isen is able to take the jungle from the opponent's side, and there it goes, 9 points going in on the first top lane of the goal zone, and able to do a bit of a stacking. I think that's the first stack from the boss wall.
Very quick point then.
Yeah.
On the bottom side of the map.
Yeah.
You see, if you noticed earlier, we were talking about the Ubi strat. Are you familiar with the Ubi strat, Shaggy?
Nope. And we've seen the Zoroark using Night Slice over here is able to knock out the Khufu, and no, it cannot knock out or take any knockout onto the Sylveon and also the Clefairy. We've seen on the top line as well. We've seen the Sarina has not been evolved yet, and okay, we move again, and the Leafeon is able to knock out the Clefairy this time around. So share me about the Uber stat.
The Uber strat, it's called the ultimate bonding experience in the Philippines. A lot of the Philippine teams apparently like playing it. They play together. That's what it means. Yeah, that's what it means. Just bond. You bond just in bond. Pokemon Unite. That's what it means.
Yeah. I believe that kind of strat also works here in the Pokemon Unite, and as well once again the Zoroark is able to move away from the Urshifu, but over here I think Isen is able to take most of the farming we can see on the top lane, and able to do a lot of stacking. We're seeing there's a lot of damage and a lot of team fights going on, and the Unite move from the Leafeon is able to knock on most of the Pokemon, and here we see that the score is being scored, and there's only 1 point left onto the bottom lane of the goal zone. On the top lane, Sarina has evolved. Yeah, Sarina has evolved using the Stomp, obviously able to put in the 5 points, but we do see is being knocked down and knocked out by the Buzzwole on the top lane. I think Clefairy and also Lapras is going to challenge, but Clefairy, on the other hand, it needs to go back to the zone on where it came from, and whereas Lapras and also Urshifu is trying to help over here. We've seen on the top lane there's only 1 point left, on the bottom lane there's only 1 point left. A very good calculations by Isen team, and there it goes once again. There's 10 points and knocking out the goal zone on the top lane, and they're starting with the Regieleki.
Lots of momentum going their way now. Urshifu just not quite there yet, and the surprise pick as well. Do you think, like, without any bias whatsoever, do you think the surprise? I can't even remember that grass Pokemon. What is that grass Pokemon? Yeah, there we go. The grass Pokemon, the surprise grass Pokemon. The one that just died.
Oh, the Sarina, yeah. I don't think that Sarina is doing a lot of things, and we do see something that is very similar to our first stream game today. We've seen 300 points against 30 points only, and before the 6 minutes, all the towers on the top lane is already being knocked out. Oh, and there's a 5 knockout or 5 kills by the Leafeon. Very strong move. And also we have seen on the other side, there's only Sarina that has only been on level 9 and is ready for the Unite move, trying to be assassinated by the Leafeon. We do see that there's a heavy step. It's not the block is coming in, and Sarina is using the Unite move, trying to take a knockout onto the Leafeon, and is able to with the help of the Sylveon. There's Night Slash coming out from the Zoroark, but is not unable to take on any knockout. And also right now with the slashing is able to knock out the Sylveon. And right now Team Beehive is trying to scramble around and trying to knock out this Zoroark, I believe, but is unable to do so with the Unite move of 9 days from the Zoroark, is able to pick up another knockout onto the Lapras.
The level advantage of the Zoroark actually making Lapras look very squishy, because like the past few games I've been seeing this Lapras has been unkillable, but not this time.
Yep, obviously, and I don't think that the Zoroark is even bothered that much, even with a Clefairy on the other side of the team. Like, the gravity is not doing much. Like, he knows when to come in, he knows not when to come in, even with the gravity from the Clefable.
Urshifu.
There's a Unite move. Oh, it hits the wrong side, and once again, Leafeon able to take, or Team ISN is able to take the Regieleki, and Regieleki will be going straight to the final goal zone that Beehive team has.
Snorlax, you can try and make something happen here, okay?
There's a Unite move coming in. I think ISN will try to want to push this time around and trying to make sure that the Regieleki is going to the final goal post. But do we see if we able to, because there are 3 knockouts over there, able to kill the Zoroark, Leafeon, and also Hoopa at the same time, and it seems that they are able to defend this time around.
But borrowed time, definitely 3 more.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, there's 300 points difference, a huge amount of difference in terms of the experience. So we do see 40 points. Does it can come in? Obviously not.
Doesn't even get it. Doesn't even get it.
Yeah, obviously not.
Bleeding here.
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, it's still possible, right?
Nope, I think it's going to be knocked out by Zoroark this time around.
Oh no. Zoroark just doing whatever he wants.
Yep. And the Snorlax is being knocked out, which is a good momentum. And we do see little by little team Beehive is able to take on to the experience, and then we do see a 1v1, 1v1 against Buzzwole and also Serena, but it seems that it's not very much worth it for the Buzzwole to continue, and rather than it's better for them to just secure the Regirock on the bomb lane. We see a 2v3 conditions right now, and Zoroark is able to secure the Regirock and is able to boost the defense and special defense for the team fight within the Rayquaza pit.
Yeah, right before Rayquaza does spawn. Should be big for them. But there we go.
Oh, there's a Unite move, and it's able to knock out.
Big pick before. I mean, it's just 10 more seconds, but they should be able to push that into more.
There are 2 Pokemons out, and I do think that
this is big.
This is big. I do think Beehive want to start the Rayquaza right now and secure the Rayquaza, obviously. But Zoroark is trying to come in right now. Obviously, right now, 4 Pokemon from Beehive is looking good. They're able to take the Rayquaza. We do see the Zoroark is trying to make up on and try to just reduce or remove the shield, but it's unable to do so. And we do see another 50 points trying to come in on the mid lane. We can see another 100 points, and right now they are very much almost equal in terms of the points. They just want to make sure that the opponents, there's another 12 points coming in from ISN. There's only 20 points difference, but there's still 1 minute left, and Team Beehive still has some Pokemon, I believe, still has the shield from the Rayquaza. So it's going to be a very, very interesting last 1 minute over here.
The XP swing to level 15 now on 2 Pokemon.
Right. I think the Urshifu needs to be very, very careful this time around, because he's the only Pokemon that has the shield. We do see another 24 points comes in. There's only 4 points difference, and we do see on the bottom lane, on the back lane, we have the Leafeon and also Zoroark trying to come in. If we see another 12 points from ISN team, and there's a fly from the Clefairy. We do see an 8 points difference right now, but I don't think that the Urshifu still has a shield, but it's still so far away and is probably unable to take any more points. And game 1 is being taken by Team ISN.
Wow, what game had us at the edge of our seats until the very end.
Yeah, I do.
4 points?
Right. 4 points. Wow. I do believe that
8 points.
Yeah, I do believe that the Urshifu shouldn't be going back, because he's the only Pokemon that has the shield. He's the only Pokemon that should be coming in and try to make sure put any much score as possible during the final stretch, right? And I think did a bit of a mistake. They're trying to secure the Regieleki on their own, and thus obviously the Leviathan is being knocked out, and also Zorak is also being knocked out on the bottom lane, and thus I believe that was a bit of their downfall. But fortunately, they're able to pick up onto the scoring game, and they're very much dominating on the early game, right?
Well,
that's why.
Just until that Rayquaza fight, and
I do think if they're not that dominating in the early game, they're going to be they're going to be lost like 100%. But because of they're so dominating, they have been saving up a lot of points since the early game. They're able to win the game that we just saw.
I have a question for you, Shaggy. Would you rather lose, like by a lot of points, or lose a close game like that? What's more painful for you?
Oh, that's a very hard question. I do believe that losing by a bit of a point is
easier.
I felt worse. I lose only a bit of a point, because here's the thing, right? If you lose by a very high margin, it means that you just need to get good.
Yeah, right. It's so far away. You never had a chance. But when you're almost there, right? And what you said,
almost
right?
there,
Urshifu really just wasted the opportunity because he still had the shield there, and hopefully they take this loss in stride, because those two pickoffs before the Rayquaza on the Zoroark and the Leafeon, was it?
Right. That was a very good move by Sarina to knock out the Zoroark on a very, very crucial moment. I'll say I'll give the team Beehive that, but unfortunately it's just a bit of a waste not to try to score, especially when they have these shields.
Yeah, right. Well, at least they made it interesting in the end, because it really did look like it was gonna be a dominant performance by ISN all the way.
Yeah, I do believe that we will be going to the second game of this match between Beehive
I think
versus
we're still waiting for a few players. Yeah, we're still waiting for a few players to get into the lobby, but I think everyone's trickling in now. So we almost got that. Oh, I'll show you this. This has been one of the top picks of this. For sure. Uncle this, just a tanky boy / girl. Right? Because we never know. Lapras is the Pokemon that can have the two genders. But right, there's Pokemon without genders. Right. So you just
over here there's no
Pokemon with no genders. Have we seen a lot of Pokemon with no genders in this tournament so far? We have? Have we?
Buzzwole doesn't have any genders.
Oh yeah, Buzzwole. But I would expect Buzzwole to be a male. Apparently not, because anyone can be Swole. Yeah,
I
boy,
guess
boy and girl can be Swole.
I believe so. Yeah, right.
Anyways, I think we're ready to hop into the draft, because you're more interested than our banter, surely.
I think on the right hand side is going to be another Umbreon. Oh! We don't. Oh, okay. I think wait. Why do they ban Umbreon, especially when they're going to first? They could just take an Umbreon.
Oh, yeah, that is an interesting take here. And on the flip side, there's still no consensus ban here. They're gonna wait for it.
I think it's slow, bro. Yeah.
Yeah.
Crustle? I don't think it's Crustle.
Crustle. That's like one of the starter Pokemon you get, right, in this game.
Yeah.
He's like one of the earliest.
They should have taken Umbreon. I don't know why. Why do they ban?
Maybe they're gonna pick something that that doesn't work with Umbreon. I don't know. I'm just trying to think here, but yeah, that's not the good logic. That's not the winning logic right there.
Urshifu is being taken, and I believe it's going to be Clefairy and Zoroark, maybe. Oh, Hoopa. Or Hoopa and Lapras is also not a bad combination. Like Comfey, we do see a Comfey. First time, okay, it's going to be a Leafeon again. As well as Clefairy.
So
for
Lapras
Team
is still in
ISN.
the pool here.
Yeah.
I think would be picked up here. Unless, what do you think? What other frontline Pokemon do you think they could go for here? If not
Snorlax.
the Lapras?
Eldegoss is actually a good pick.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Snorlax. I haven't seen Trevenant for
A while.
For a while. For this whole game, I actually. When I do think that Trevenant is actually one of those stronger Pokemons this time around, and Serena, the Queen Majesty, is coming again to this game too. Wait! Right now, the Serena is being used by the opponent.
Oh yeah,
it's being used by Team ISN.
They're gonna show him how it's used, right? It will show you how to use this Pokemon. Usually, there is that mentality, especially in draft games. Such as these, right? So let's see if they do find a lot more success, with that Pokemon. Ooh,
right, and Comfy, and last pick will be Lapras from Team ISN. Okay, I think in terms of the draft pick, right, Comfy is. I believe that the game plan might be trying to make sure that the Urshifu is as bulky as they can make with the Comfy and also Eldegoss combo. Whereas for Team ISN, I think it's going to be very similar game plan from the game before. The only difference is that instead of they pick Zoroark, they try to be a bit more tanky, right? And using Lapras and also Serena for this game round.
And they did dominate the early parts of the game. They just lost the Quasar in the end. That's what made it harder for them. So I think they would definitely play more into that Rayquaza timing this time around.
Yeah. And some of the interesting picks that we see is Attack Eldegoss. With Rapid Fire Scarf and also Muscle Band. That's very interesting, to be honest.
It's going to be interesting to see how aggressive they do.
Yeah, because usually Eldegoss is not using an X attack, right? Either potion, X speed, or whatever that is more for defending ability. But it seems that this time is more for an attack ability. But again, going to game 2, we still do not know who is going to win. Again, I believe from the draft pick rounds, Sylveon might be a good pick just because it's very bulky. But on the other hand, having a Clefairy against an Urshifu is usually not a very good sign for the Urshifu. It's not unable to just move around. Move around during the team fights.
Yeah, so let's see how he does play around this. But Eldegoss will also help the Urshifu in the long run with the buff. So let's see if that Eldegoss will be able to play aggressively with his or her team.
All right, we guys go to game 2 on this 2DF Southeast Asia Community Cup tournament for the team ISN against Team Beehive from Vietnam. Seems that so far so good. But
a bit
are
early
they
invading.
A bit early invading. Can we see the invade? Cameraman, can we see the invade? I want to see the invade.
Not the Lapras. Not the Lapras. The invade. There we go.
There we go. We've seen the Kufu is being able to knock out the Clefairy, but again being knocked out by the Leafeon. Leafeon is just trying to gather as much as points as possible, and Comfy is coming in, although using the smoke screen, right? Smoke screen, and Saita is able to knock out the Hoopa.
A lot of early aggression here, much like the first match, where they did see early success for ISN.
Right. So, on the bomb lane, we do have an Urshifu is already being online and ready. Urshifu is online and ready. And there it goes. They're trying to position themselves and obviously trying to steal some more points on the jungle, but is unable to do so. The Urshifu with the comfy is just too strong, and the triple axle is not able to save Serena from the attack of the Urshifu, and Urshifu here is not being able to knock out the Clefairy just because there is Moonlight over there that raises the speed and also heals itself for a huge chunk of amount of health, I'll believe.
Oh, Clefairy is gonna be totally fine here. No score quite yet.
Right.
I'm sure they're gonna score very, very soon.
Yeah, right. Urshifu unfortunately unable to take the knockout onto the Leafeon because of there's Hoopa there that's trying to defend, and Serena is actually able to pick up Eldegoss and return back to his base.
Great. Okay, finally. There we go. The re-engage here. Clefairy falling very, very low here. Actually, gonna be fine. Totally gonna be fine.
Yeah, because of the Hoopa.
Yeah. Perfect timing on that save.
The Urshifu just reached level 8. I thought it was already reaching level 9. But apparently not. And it seems that Urshifu is being knocked out. Comfy is also being knocked out. A buy one, get one scenario. And right now, Sylveon and also Eldegoss needs to try to take on the Regice. But it seems that they're going to leave it be and make sure just they're going to defend their base. Right now, the Perish Song's coming in. The third hit, unfortunately, he's not coming. Yeah, he's not coming yet. We do see the 60 plus 30 plus 30 points. Oh, and I do think like Serena is not being knocked out yet. Obviously, with this ability, able to refresh the attack move or the skill move, and using Dropkick just to move around and save herself.
Finally, a score for Beehive here.
Right, Beehive. Beehive is able to score for a bit. Onto the top lane as 1v1 situation against Sizzle against the Lapras. And another Unite move from the Leafeon is able to knock out the Urshifu, and a very immense pressure coming in and from Team ISN this time around.
They did not let up the pressure last game. They're not gonna do it again this time.
Yeah, because they have a lot of points. So it doesn't make sense for them to just, leave it be. Especially when the Urshifu is still level 8 and us unable to use any Unite move and lock one opponent.
Finally, level 9 on the Urshifu. We've been waiting for that for a while now. Let's see if they try and make something happen from it.
The EXP difference is not so much. It's only one level, to be honest. So I'm interested to see on how they are trying to do some comebacks. But obviously, the Urshifu with the Comfy is going to be a very fearsome opponent for ISN. They need to be very, 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 very careful.
Oof.
They need to be very careful. And here we go. We do see another team fight, and obviously Team ISN is trying to move back around a bit. But the Unite move from Hoopa is coming in, and there is the Unite move trying to kick around. Urshifu is being able to knock out, and Sylveon here needs to defend by himself or herself, but obviously is unable to do so and just decided to retreat while Team ISN is trying their best to cure this Regieleki where they do.
Oof. Okay, then more momentum going their way, but like you said, the level gap, the XP gap, not that huge right now. If they find the right fight, Beehive, they can still sting ISN if they are unready.
Yep, and while they are trying to defend Regieleki, Team ISN once again pick the Regi Pokemon on the bottom lane, which is a Regirock.
Okay. Let's see. 4 minutes remaining. Almost teams will start getting ready for that Rayquaza fight, which
the Caesar is still level 9. Caesar is still level 10. Level 10. Oh, sorry, it's the the Comfy level 9. Yeah, right.
Well, the Comfy has been spending most of his time with Urshifu too, so.
Right.
And they weren't finding much success too, but there we go. Another fight happening over here.
Unfortunately,
so tanky. That is
so tanky. Unfortunately, the Leafeon is not being able to knock out, and they are able to do a counter fight and also uses up the Comfy's Unite move and also Scissor's Unite move, which is not good, especially there's only 3 minutes left before the Rayquaza team fight.
After how the last game ended, I'm still holding my breath to see how this one goes.
Yep. And especially, I think this time around, they do a bit better, though.
Yeah, they are doing a lot better.
Is doing a lot better compared to the previous game where they are trashed by like 400 points difference.
Yeah. Yes, Lapra's going to be forced back 40 seconds before Rayquaza here. Lots of points stacked up by ISN, actually, especially on that Leafeon.
And there's 22 points. And there's 22 points. A very good game by the Hoopa, just putting on the bottom bottom of Clefairy's feet, enabling them to return.
Beehive can't find the pick-off that they had before.
This is good though. This is good though. They are able to take the top lane, and here it go. We do have the 5v2 team fight, but unfortunately they are able to save themselves, and 100 points in by ISN from the Leafeon, and obviously over here Lapras trying to go in of another 54 points, whereas the Unite move, Unite Ambon, is also being up, trying to call all of their friends over here, while Team Beehive is trying to knock out all of ISN Pokemon. Is able to knock out the but here Sylveon and also Eldegoss and also Urshifu is being picked up on a KO, and unfortunately I don't think that Scissor is able to survive by himself, even though with the help of the Comfy. And over here Team ISN is able to take the Rayquaza again and also seal the deal and going to the top 4 of the winners bracket, which will be going on, or they will be playing again tomorrow. Great gameplay by ISN.
Yeah, ISN, not making the same mistake they made in the last game with that Rayquaza. And yeah, I'm just gonna find the magic. No pickups, no early skirmishes before that Rayquaza that made it possible for them in their last bout. And Urshifu, quite underwhelming in that one too, despite the Comfy support and the Edelgos being there to help him as well. Yeah, ISN, congratulations, top 4 upper bracket.
Right, and just some quick update on the top 4 teams that will be continuing. We do see ISN Aumento continue to the top 4 on the upper bracket. And I do believe Team Stella Luna has just beaten Onyx as well. Ooh. And going to the upper bracket top 4 as well. So again, I think it's a very, very interesting game from all of the teams. And we hope that we can see more interesting games tomorrow. But today we'll be continuing on to the bottom bracket, to the lower bracket, which we do see some interesting teams will be playing against each other, obviously.
Can't wait. Are you looking forward to any of those lower bracket games, Shaggy?
All right, because the lower bracket is where you play or you're out, right?
Yeah, exactly. You don't. All gloves are off. You'd be playing your best Pokemon by then. No more secret strategies. Right. You play your best or you go home.
Right. But
yeah, I think that is it for this bracket. For this match. And we'll be going on a break before the next one. I'm sorry. Right. And Shaggy, thank you once again for carrying me in this cast. But yeah,
I do not carry anything.
Maybe you carry in game. I'm sure you carry in Pokemon Unite. I'm sure you do.
Right.
Anyways, that is it for us. We'll be going on a break, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Okay, yeah. So there you go, guys. We are now fixed with the audio. Just gonna go back here. We're back as your first and last caster for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Just okay. I hope you guys enjoyed our double elimination bracket, and it's not unlike any other community tournaments where we're running it in just one day. We have 50 players here, 50 teams rather, 52 teams, right? And we want to have the most authentic kind of like experience to an official tournament. That's why we're running double eliminations, and that is also why we decided to have a 2-day tournament. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. We're gonna be asking you guys for feedbacks as well. So just in case for next time, we can make it even smoother than it already is, than today. So once again, we are back to the 2D Ventures Community Cup. My name is JJ and Shaggy. You were saying, dude, just continue what you were saying, and
So we're going to be a very interesting live action for the last match of today. Which I believe a Vietnamese team named VN Troller with two players from Omo Abyssinian, the winner of the APAC East Regional Finals.
Right.
Yeah, we have Tuskis, and also I do believe J-Rab is a player from Abyssinian, right?
Right, J-Rab and Tuskis, right.
Yeah, against Stella Luna, which is the flag year's Indonesian team, but I've never seen the players, but they have just beaten Onyx, the team that we saw in the first game that is very much, I would say, dominating. So I do believe that they should be a good team, and this should be a good match as a closure for today's tournament.
I mean, just the mere fact that they've got into the, round 5 of the upper bracket, which is essentially the, the upper bracket semifinals, already says a lot for these teams. Just getting into the stage already proves that they have a lot in store for their own team going into this tournament. With that being said, I think our teams are now prepared and everyone is on the lobby, and we are now ready to get in on the game. So without further ado, we're going to be starting the games right now for the lobby. Shaggy, any predictions on the ban phase except for Lapras and Umbreon, because obviously that's going to get banned.
Hoopa. I do think Hoopa and Leafeon might be picked this time around, but we do see an Umbreon again at a second ban.
Leafeon?
Second ban from second ban from the second pick once again for Umbreon, but Omo this time. Oh, actually, Tuskis, Tempest, and J-Rap, so 3 players from Abyssinian playing this time around against. So Leafeon and Umbreon is going to be banned for this game. Again, Omo is going. Sorry, not Omo again. Once again, but VN Troller is going to pick the Zoroark first as their first pick.
Right? If it's not banned, then it's definitely first pick. That along with the Lapras.
Lapras and also Slowbro, obviously. Slowbro is very, very strong, right? Especially in this kind of game where he can just lock the Zoroark as on the team fight. It's very, very versatile, it's very strong, and it's very, very bulky as well. Hoopa and also Alola Ninetales is going to be the pick from a VN Troller, whereas they are choosing Mew and Eldegoss. Interesting. So they actually picked the 3 support Pokemon first before the core Pokemon, whereas on the other side, VN Troller is actually picking the core Pokemon first before the support Pokemon. What do you think about this, JJ?
Well, it's definitely not going to be Zacian, because if it is, then they're going to lose a game, right? So,
obviously.
What I think about this is, I think this is pretty important in the current meta, where you have to choose your core Pokemon first. That you choose your support Pokemon first before the meta. I'd have to give it to Stella Luna, just because of the fact that, I'm sure you might have your carry Pokemon, right? But if you cannot have the support that that would enable this Pokemon to actually reach his power spike, then it's all for nothing. Just like what we've seen from the previous games that we've had earlier, with the Blissey enabling the Urshifu and Urshifu and the Buzzwole, right, from the games when me and Birdie were casting earlier. They were enabled, but unfortunately it wasn't enough. But this time around, just ensuring that they have their supports, they have the defenders first and foremost is definitely a good thing to have, to ensure that they would have a, what do you call this, a smooth game plan, a smooth road going to where they want to go be.
Yep, and I do think that what's interesting with this game is that Glaceon is actually a very, very good pick. With two Pokemon that is going to be defending Glaceon in terms of like giving spacing, right? As well as the opponent, what he's doing an expert, what Pokemon experts level expert, but again, like against a Zoroark that usually just trying to maneuver within a war or within a team fight, and if the Ice Cycle Spear, I believe it should be Ice Cycle Spear, is targeted correctly, it should be very devastating and should be able to knock out the Zoroark fairly easily.
Right, and here you go. Still in the early game, still no one has some sort of advantage. Still, just poking each other out here. Yep. 9:30. Still not gonna be a lot in terms of games here, but at the very least, we have the Zorua here still at level 4, almost getting that level 5 just to finally start the early game as well. Because the moment that the early game gets up for the Zoroark, then they can essentially just maintain this up until the late game and perhaps even dominate this team on what we call it, Stella Luna.
Yep, definitely. And I think we do see the Zoroark is trying to punish any kind of Pokemon that is going up onto the stage. And 850 Altaria is being spawned. We do see the Electro Ball coming up. And on the top side, the Gossifleur is being knocked out by the Zoroark that just comes in. And it's going to be very dangerous. The Astonish is doing really good job and enabling all of the VN Trollers Pokemon to score on the top lane, and we do see a 47 against 0 this time round.
Right, but it still doesn't. It's still not a lot, in all honesty, just because of the fact that it's still the early game. The major objective is still not up, so like 47-0 is still not that wide of a gap here. But the problem here for Stella Luna is that, well, a VN Troller has the XP advantage, has the macro advantage, so Stella Luna definitely needs to change things up here. They need to stick together if they want to win against team fights to that of VN Troller.
I think that's a very good Solar Beam as well, able to do tons of damage, and as well picking up, I think most of the Altaria or the Swablu is being taken by Mew, I believe, if I'm not looking at mistakenly. And again, Aula Ninetales have been already on level 6. It's going to be very, very strong and giving a lot of pressure on the bomb lane.
Right, but in just 30 seconds as well, we're going to be seeing the first major set of objectives. But before that, in 5 seconds, we have the birds coming up in both of the paths. And let's find out who's going to be able to take this one up for themselves. And as you can see in the top path, it is going to be the Zoroark taking those birds for themselves, getting in some XP in just a bit more, would be able to get that level 9. And of course, its Unite move in the process. With that being said, man, first, a major objective is going to be up at this second.
And it's going to be a Regirock. Sing is coming in, trying to sleep them. Oh, and the Rock is trying to hit. There's the Solar Beam, able to do ton of damage. And also, the knock out the Zoroark that time around. And I think Team VN needs to move down a bit, back a bit. And who is going to take out the Regirock? And it's going to be Team Stella Luna this time around. Very, very good team fight by them. And because I do think that the Unite move from Zoroark is not hitting anyone, right?
Well, I mean, it definitely does have a lot of damage in it, but like it's at the moment it isn't really needed at the moment. I think what they want to do is have less of a risk than they do than would if they would have that, just to be on the safe side up until go into the mid game to ensure that they are not going to be giving as much XP as they can towards that of Stella Luna. But here we go, Stella Luna trying to have a bit. trying a bit of positioning into that or Reggie like it. But the question is, would they be able to take it?
Oof, that's a very strong Electro Ball, I believe, by the Regieleki. But over here, it's trying to target Warto.
Wow.
Wait, it's taking out by Glaceon that time around, Cello Luna. And over here, the Blastoise has already online with the Rapid Spin and as well. There's the Unite move, Starlight something by Star Recital by Wigglytuff, and there's a Hydro Typhoon coming up, but it's still not able to save their team from the team fight. And over here, there is 80 points exactly. There are no extra points going on the top side, and on the bottom side, we see a Slowbro just going to be calm and steady and make sure that the opponent is not going to take any points. And even I do see, it's being taken. The buff is being taken by Zoroark. I thought it was taken by the Mew.
No, yeah, I mean, at first, right, in the early game, I thought that Team VN Troller is just playing a bit safe here, not to put up a lot of risk. But I think what they're playing out right now is playing a little bit too careful and too much in the fact that they are losing a lot of the team fights here against that of Stella Luna. But look at this right now. Let's find out who's going to be able to take down this Registeel. It is going to be none other than, VN Troller. But I think this is going to be the answer back here to that team. That's going to be 4 down into the side of Stella Luna as well. Man, they are making me eat my words once again. Yes, they might be sleeping at the mid game, but now that we are approaching slowly but surely that of the second, that 2-minute mark, this is the time that they need to wake up, and this is the time that they are waking up as well in the process, making sure that they are not going to allow Stella Luna be confident with what they're doing with their wins on the team fights.
Obviously, definitely, and I do think that the Lapras is coming in with the Surf, able to knock out the Alola Ninetales and also Wigglytuff, so it's going to be very, very big. But Zoroark is coming here, trying to take as much as knockout as possible, but I do believe that it's already it's already finished. The Ice Cycle Spear is going to hit and also knock out the Zoroark. Very, very big Ice Cycle Spear by the Glaceon.
Yeah, definitely the Icicle Spears, though nerfed, it's still, it's still a huge source of damage for that of the Glaceon. But with that being said, that KO into the side of Zoroark is actually pretty huge as well. But unfortunately, it's a little bit too early that it actually gave Unite charges into that of Zoroark, making it ready for the next team fight, which is, let's be honest, is going to be the last 2 minutes of the game when the Rayquaza comes out.
Right, but I do believe that it's going to be should be not easy, but they're in a better position to actually take the Regieleki this time around, which they did. And I think it's going to be a bit of a good pressure that they need to take the game over here and secure their first win against VN Troller.
Right. I mean, the only advantage here that that Stella Luna was able to get from taking in that Regieleki is, number one, they are at the very least was going to be able to position themselves into that array pit as early as possible. But with that being said, since it is a little bit too early as well, that allowed VN Troller to just take it out as soon as possible, ensuring that they can position themselves as well into that of the array pit. But here you go, the last stretch, the final stretch, when the final bout is about to happen. Here comes the Hoopa as well at level 11 going down. Here we go. Let's go down a little bit to see a little bit of skirmish here. Okay, here comes the Blizzard. Not quite yet. They're still poking each other out, using the Rayquaza as well to bait the other team out. I think both of these teams still don't know who is in the lead,
and also build up the stacks.
Right, and I don't think as well that Stella Luna knows that they are on the losing end. That's why they're not taking in the Rayquaza yet, just making sure that they are using it to bait out V Controller. But look at that, Hydro Typhon is going to be popped up as well right there. Going to be able to knock up 2, but no follow-up, unfortunately, for them. And just like that, it is going to be Stella Luna going to be able to, get that Rayquaza from the hands of V Controller. And that being said, here comes 200 points, 3-man down as well into the side of V Controller. That's going to be 200 points, just right for them to be able to catch up into the score of V Controller.
All right, but on the top lane there is still
4 down,
one
actually.
more.
Never mind, that's a team
4
1.
down actually. Almost, yeah, I think that's a team wipe, but I think they also need to be careful on the top lane because we do see that it's all. I do think it's all on our end, and I should believe that should seal the game. And team
V Controller, Stella Luna.
Stella Luna will be taking. Yeah, will be taking game 1. Stella Luna should be taking game 1, I believe, right? I don't think it's going to be enough. But I think it was really great game, and I was wondering why they like the positioning from Team Stella Luna was so good that they're not allowing like the Zoroark to just come in that easily, right? Mm-hmm. And they're just able to do tons of damage to the Rayquaza. They're able to set up like the best position that they can do, and obviously. Ultimately taking out the Rayquaza and win the game.
Right. That is something that
like still... I get that game just now, the way that they set up, the way that they set up for the 2-minute team fight was really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
It was one of the best. I believe it is one of the best positioning that I've seen so far.
Right, I'd have to go back to that as well, where it is Stella Luna that was able to take in the Regieleki, and then likewise, was able to get in the proper positioning as well as first into the Rayquaza, allowing themselves to defend and get ready for the final team fight. Unfortunately for them, they weren't aware, as we have mentioned, that they are currently on the losing end. Still using that other Rayquaza to use as a bait, for that of a V Controller. Yes, they were able to take in the Rayquaza, and they were able to take in Tree in the process, as well as there was a team fight. But I think that they could have done a better job to actually finally securing that Rayquaza. But I think we're going to be seeing that on game number 2. Perhaps this might be a 2-0 game, maybe a 1-1, but it's more likely that we might be able to see a 2-0 given how Stella Luna was able to play consistently all throughout the game, whereas, the game here for the game here for V Controller, they were only dominant in the early game, but then they fell off by the mid game when they stopped trying to take the initiative and stopped trying to take risks as well. Just playing too careful, maybe leaning towards a bit of a scared kind of gameplay. Don't want to risk anything at all. Just want to stay safe to the point that they're not really getting any benefit from it.
I do believe that they're playing a bit too. I wouldn't say too careful. I think is the word. Mm-hmm. They should be a bit more aggressive, especially with the Pokemons like a Zoroark. But unfortunately, it's just like getting punished. They're not able to position correctly. They're not able to pick up the damage that they need, and to knock out some of the relevant Pokemons that they have. But again, like the positioning from the Mew as well as the Glaceon was really, really good on that game previously. But again, JJ, I wouldn't bet that if this is going to be a 2-0 game. I do have a feeling that it might be a 1-1 game first, given that how strong V Controller is able to push forward, especially during some of the critical timings, especially on the mid game where we saw before, and also in the very, very early game, we saw before they're able to do tons of pressure and making a hard time for Stella Luna, to pick up their pace.
No, yeah, for sure. Like I'm not saying I'm not dismissing the power of the Troller here, especially that three of their members as well are one of the most known teams in APAC as well. But what I'm trying to say here is, at the very least, if they want to dominate against that of Stella Luna, then what I think they should be doing is, if they're going to be dominant in the early game, make sure that they stay consistent being dominant in their gameplay, as you have mentioned, especially that they have the likes of Pokemon like Zoroark. They need to be more aggressive and stay aggressive up until the mid game to the late game, until they can get their power spikes. But speaking of power spikes, I think the power spike in the lobby is now up as well. As we are now preparing into heading into the draft pick, as all trainers are now ready to get in on the game. So in just a few seconds, we're going to be starting off the game.
We should be starting off the game in a second. And what kind of bands do you think that it's going to go for this time around? Second pick should be Umbreon, right?
Yeah, I mean, Umbreon is definitely, again, as I had mentioned, the new Zacian, just because of how much mobility it provides, how much debuff it provides to the other team. Again, Mean Look and Snarl can actually go at the same time. So just ensuring that you're going to be staying in a singular circle, and then gets a debuff, that's almost entirely, a guaranteed KO to the Pokemon that will get hit by Mean Look.
But I do think that most of the Pokemon that is being used, most of the moves that are being used are actually foul play, no?
Right. I mean, there are Pokemon that uses foul play as well, but there are some builds as well that really revolves around that of Snarl, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Lapras is being picked first by Team Stella Luna, whereas Zoroark and also Alola Ninetales, once again, I think the draft pick they're trying to be a bit more like securing the defensive Pokemon first, and on the other side, they're trying to secure like the overpowered damage Pokemon first.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the trend that you're saying?
Yeah. Just ensuring that would allow the carry to would allow the carry to smoothly get their procs, get their power spikes. If you do get your defenders and your supports first, but I do of course see the point as well, the strategy of getting your carries first, because definitely you don't want to get these carries, these ADCs, these ADRs, into the hands of the other team.
And I think we'll see the first Trevenant of today's match, right?
Right.
First Trevenant of the game. Given that how strong Trevenant is, I'm actually quite surprised that we haven't seen Trevenant so far.
No, yeah, I mean, Trevenant was, it is still a good Pokemon. Unfortunately, it got nerfed after a certain patch note, and then right now I believe it actually got buffed again, and there's also Curse that provides so much damage right now. Though, in terms of like tournament settings, we still do see a lot of wood hammers for obvious reasons as well, because it provides so much CCs plus the damage as well, coming in from that of the Trevenant.
Yeah. And once again, I do think that it's going to be a very interesting match from the right-hand side. And we do see like pro teams, they always usually have like 2 XP shares, right?
Right.
And I think this is a good note for newer teams to play with, because the XP shares is making sure that your Pokemon on the lane is not going to be defeated in terms of the XP from by the opponent. And again, the Ultra Expert, Veteran, Great, and Veteran playing this good. I don't think it's. I don't think that they're new players.
I don't think that they are new players, definitely. But I guess that's like one of the beauties, right? It's one of the beauties of the tournament mode. You don't really have to get in the Masters rank. As long as you're in the tournament tournament mode lobby, then you're essentially unlocked of all the Pokemon, all the held items, all the levels of the held items. So anyone can just start the game and play on tournaments.
Right. This time around, the Mew is not able to pick up the knockout onto the Buttlebee, unfortunately. And there is 2 stacks from VN's team, and also Squirrel is also able to take some stacks as well on the top lane. Whereas over here, Lapras is unable to secure the Buttlebee and ultimately trying to do another stack. And Kung Fu is still trying to evolve. It has evolved, and Zoroark over here is already online.
No, yeah, for sure. But here you go as well. Zoroark currently has double the buffs here and still ready to wreak havoc. Now with Feint, actually, not Night Slash, but Feint. I think it's Night Slash. Feint is the more controlled version of the Night Slash. Though I'd have to say, Night Slash does provide more damage than that of Feint.
Was it Night Slash before? Was it Night Slash before? Was it Night Slash before?
What do you mean? No. You choose between the two, right? Feint or Night Slash. Night Slash is the one with the claws. And Feint is the one with the arrows.
Yeah, I mean, I know.
Yeah.
Feint is the one that jumps, is it? No.
That's Night Slash.
Okay,
that's Night Slash. Yeah.
I see.
Feint is the one with the without the jumping and the one with the arrow. And then even more so, right? What's good with Feint is you can still continue it even if you whiff. But in comparison to Night Slash, sure, it does have more damage. But once you whiff, you're essentially open for like a second or half a second from getting free hit, basically.
I don't think it's even half a second. It's more than 1 second. I think 1.5 seconds or something.
Yeah, well, the point is it's a little bit too long for you to to actually get back up. Right, if you whiff.
The Trevenant is actually doing pretty well to defend the damage from the boosted attack of Mew to the Zoroark. And over here, we do see like 720. No Pokemon has been level 9 yet, and the Zoroark is still on level 7 though. A pretty different situation from the previous game, whereas we still see that Lapras against Wurtle is still trying to dominate each other on the top lane, similar to the game before.
Right, but here's the thing, right? Like, we are seeing the same thing that happened in game number 1 to game number 2, where they're still poking it out. Though the poking phase here is still was a little bit longer than that of game number 1. But at the very least, we're seeing them now try to take this Regirock bow to the team now. Oh wow, it's still not enough.
And Urshifu is able to take the knockout on the Alola Ninetales and ultimately also secure the top. Oh, and Lapras, it shows like how strong he is with able to taking the knockouts onto the Wurtle. And right now, I do think that Stella Luna is on the commanding position for this game right now. Lapras is being hit by the wall, but also able to take the knockout onto the Trevenant. And Clefairy this time around, and they get to destroy the bottom goal lane.
Yeah, that is the Grab Express coming in down with the Lapras. Right. Man, it provides so much. It provides so much for the team.
It's crazy that like the Zoroark is just level 9 on the 5th minute mark, right? Whereas on the previous game, like they have so much advantage or during this time around during the mid game. Whereas I do think like I do believe like Stella Luna is actually playing a better game this time. They're able to adapt in terms of the positioning and in terms of when they should be doing the last hit, when they should be committing, knowing that on the previous game, VN Troller is not able to do any kind of the greater risk, greater reward type of play.
No, yeah, for sure. I would have to agree with you as well. Again, I just have to go back to how VN Troller here is playing a little bit safer in comparison to that of Stella Luna, whereas Stella Luna, they are the ones being more aggressive now. And look at that, they're able to take down this Regieleki as well. Unfortunately, kind of a waste here for the Zoroark rather to use their Unite move to not being able to secure that Regieleki for themselves.
I think the most unfortunate part is that the Electro ball or something that stuns everyone is just right
the electro web
on the the electro web, just right on the timing when the Zora came into the body of the Regieleki. And over here, I think we do see another Unite move from the Shroud, and the Solar Beam is able to take out most of the Pokemons onto the opponent's side, and the Surf is, and obviously the Mew is able to pick up and knocking out the Blastoise, whereas on the top lane, I do think that the Zora is that I don't care about the bottom lane. I need to stack right now to be able to pick up to the damage and do a huge amount of damage and able to win the war. And I do believe that, with a Salak Berry able to run away from the Urshifu, as we see.
It's quite of an unfortunate event as well.
Did you see the Lapras was like, there's no, like, he was surviving a lot. And once again, I do think that, they're so daring, and the bottom lane goal zone or goal post is being destroyed by Blastoise as we speak.
No, yeah. I mean, earlier on, they have been putting up a lot of Unite moves. We have the Snow Globe, we have the Phantom Forest as well. But unfortunate for them, as they do have a lot of AOE Unite moves and still not doing a lot still not doing a lot into the side of Stella Luna. They were able to tank down the damage and still was able to get in 3 KOs and likewise take in the Reggie bottom as well for themselves. And this is a pretty good spot here for Stella Luna right now to be able to take this Reggie Eleki, because it's already at 2 minute 40 minutes 2 minute 40 seconds left here, which would then allow them to, not only get a lot of XPs, get their farms in preparation for the Rayquaza fight, but also, delay. Yeah, no, not just positioning, but delay V and Troller by a lot going into this Rayquaza fight.
Yeah. And also able to finish out all of the creeps that is on their side, right? Whereas they are able to really much kind of farming, as you see, because they need to defend the Regieleki on the top lane.
No, yeah, for sure. And look at that right now, 2 minute mark, and it is Stella Luna that has the positional advantage into that of the Rayquaza, but the Lapras actually just staying up top. Illusion right now coming in from the Zoroark, 1-on-1 Ditto up top. But look at this right now. Here comes the skirmish into that Rayquaza pit. Huge damage coming in on the side of VN Troller, but unfortunately still not getting enough, though they do have some sort of healing here coming in from the Moonlight of that of Clefable. They are going to be able to get the sustain. It's going to be 2 down into the side of Stella Luna right now. Are we going to be seeing a 1-1 here? Here comes the Zoroark coming in, some action. Are they going to be able to take down this Lapras and the Urshifu? Yes, they will. Not quite yet though, but they're going to be able to take down that Urshifu and the Lapras as well in the process. It is going to be this Slowbro up left here with Scald, but unfortunately it's not going to be enough. I don't think it's going to be enough for them to catch up into that Rayquaza, unless otherwise they're going to be able to buy a lot of time.
No.
Unfortunately, there goes the push of the amazing Trevenant here, allowing them to get that steal. But here comes some hundos from the side of VN Troller, and I think we're going to be seeing a game number 3 here. But no, Alola Ninetales right now, depleted of its shield, and 30 seconds left. They still have a chance here.
No, I don't think so, because we do see the Clefairy up on top.
Sure, but there's still, Pokemon, defending them, and there's still, 3 more down bottom.
And over here, I do think Excelgor is coming in. There's
never mind. Zoroark is here, sealing the deal here.
Yeah, I do believe the way that VN Troller is doing this game round is that they try to be together, right? And they try to make sure that they will capitalize on the ability of Moonlight from the Clefairy to make sure that they're sustainable, and make sure that everything that comes into their way is able to be knocked out by Trevenant's Unite move, by the Snow Globe from the Alola Ninetales. So that's why everyone that comes in, they need to be they'll be knocked out by respect his Unite move. And obviously, if they're not knocked out yet, they are going to be left with only like a bit of an HP left.
I mean, that is the idea here, right? For the composition for the side of VN Troller, right? We have the Trevenant as the Phantom Forest. We have the Snow Girl from the Little Ninetales. We do have the Blastoise as well for the Hydro Typhoon, ensuring that they can get all the AoE crowd control as much as they can get. And then, otherwise we have the Zoroark as well, just to finish the job here. But likewise, taking advantage of that, of the AoE crowd control, Unite moves for that of the gravity as well, right? To ensure that everyone's going to be slowed down and just allow the Zoroark to, do the final deed against them. But unfortunately for them, it might not have worked on the mid game, but at the very least, they were able to catch back up from the late game into that of the Rayquaza fight.
Yep. Again, I think in terms of the main difference on why they lost on the mid game and on the late game is that on the mid game they don't when they do team fights, they don't have the Blastoise, right?
Right.
But the Blastoise is actually doing the Hydro Typhoon, which again, like, it deals a lot of damage and deals a lot of CC to the opponent's side. Whereas on the previous game, the only Pokemon that doesn't really join onto the team fight is the Lapras. Where Lapras on team fight, on Lapras in team fights, you don't you do initiate with the Surf, right? With the Alola Express, right? But after that, what they're just doing is just like Ice Beam, doing the what do you call, Perish Song, but not as much like the crowd control is not as significant as a Hydro Typhoon, and as well as the again like Blastoise with the Water Spout and Rapid Spin, we know that it does tons of damage.
No,
right?
Yeah, for sure. I do have to agree that it does have, it provides so much damage. But we have to remember that, this is one of the Pokemon that can provide crowd control as well. So you can play it with two different things. But, as I mentioned, VN Troller wants to have more of a crowd control here, which then would have a follow-up damage. That's why they do have the Zoroark as well up their arsenal. Obviously, I have to agree as well. We have the Rapid Spin and the Water Spout dealing so much damage. But I think at that point, they wouldn't have a lot of a crowd control that they'd need, with that of, that they would need to go up against VN Troll. Stella Luna.
I'm pretty surprised that on the previous game, Leafeon is not actually being picked. What do you think about that?
In terms of Leafeon not being played in the last game, I think it's okay, because any team that would have had a Leafeon on their team with that current composition would actually break the balance between those compositions. Just because the fact that it might have a lot of damage, but it's still squishy. And the mere fact that they are trying to be as bulky as possible to have to sustain themselves as much as possible, Leafeon wouldn't be a great addition to any of the composition of both of the teams. So I think it's quite fine that they didn't have any Leafeon. But I think if there's anything that Leafeon can replace, I think it's the only Pokemon that it can replace would have to be the Zoroark from the side of VN Troller.
Yeah. And I do believe, we looking back at the composition from Team VN Troller, right? The Glaceon is actually doing better because the Glaceon does not really need to be inside of the team fight zone. Right? Should be outside, it's okay. But just not because they're trying to pick the Urshifu, obviously it's very strong in the early game. But on the late game, Urshifu needs to be inside of the team fight zone to be able to do tons of damage.
I mean, that's one of the counter picks as well for the Glaceon. Sure, I think this is something. I believe Rebongs, right? I'm pretty sure you're familiar with Rebongs as well. This is something that Rebongs mentioned earlier, on an interview as well. That Glaceon is a pretty strong Pokemon, but it's very paper-like, very squishy, and what they said was that Urshifu is one of the greatest counter pick to that, or at least specifically the Rapid Spin, Rapid Strike Urshifu, right, is one of the biggest counter pick for the Glaceon, because it can easily get in to the Glacian, especially with the help of what do you call this? Especially with the help of Surging Strikes.
Surging Strikes, and also Liquidation to make sure that there's a shield and able to take on all of those Ice Cycle Spears to himself and able to knock out the Glacian.
Right.
Are we ready with the next game, by the way? Because I'm really hyped.
Okay. We're still waiting for one more trainer to get in. I think it's coming from the side of Stella Luna, and then afterwards, once they are in, we'll immediately start the game and get in on the get in on the draft pick for our final game of the night. I'm pretty sure everyone is looking forward to this game as well, and everyone is waiting for this last stream match as well before we head into day number 2, which let's be we'll promise you will be a lot smoother in terms of the stream and of course the tournament itself for tomorrow. We do have the we do have the upper bracket winners winners finals. We do have the quarters, the semi, and the finals for the lower bracket, and then the grand final. So a total of 6 games for tomorrow. There we go. Everyone's complete now, and we're going to be starting the game right now.
Yep. What do you think about these kind of Community Cup tournament, JJ?
Like what specifically?
Oh, we just got news that Isen Aumento just won against Rated PG on the other side of the bracket.
The bracket, awesome.
Yeah, right. So and the winner of this match is going to be battling against Isen Aumento, which obviously we have seen the game, and it was a very, very much of a great game so far. Omo Dragon Lee won against Radiant again, which is pretty interesting. And so we do have. I think the rest are still playing in. And, just looking onto the match right now, what kind of picks do you think? Do you think like Stella Luna is going to change the composition team, or is still going to go with the Slowbro, Lapras, and also Aldegos again?
Well, before I answer the question, while we're waiting for the lobby to start, before I answer the question, because you asked me a question earlier, I wanted to specify, what specifically do you mean of what I think about these community tournaments? Let's start with that, and then I'll answer, which picks I'm looking forward to, being chosen.
I'm just saying, like, what do you think so far? Like in general, any comments? I think more to comments about this.
I mean, what I can say is, again, just like when we started again, we have mentioned that we have had like 52 teams, right? So we are really, really happy that we were able to gather 52 teams, because it's really hard to get those amounts of teams. And let's be honest, local community tournaments barely get to 25 teams, 20 teams. So being able to get in 50 teams from across actually 3 regions, 4 Thailand, Indonesia, 1 from Thailand, and then the rest are from Indonesia, Philippines, and Vietnam, right? To be able to gather 52 teams is quite a huge feat for a community tournament, and I really hope that we can get more of these community tournaments. Hopefully next time with prize pool, but we're going to be working on that as well. But what I do hope is we get more community tournaments like this in the future, so that we can keep the community spirit, the competitive spirit of the community alive and well. But speaking of that, going back to your second question, I think we are going to be seeing the Zoroark still being picked up here by VN Troller. I don't think they're going to be stopping with Zoroark. There we go. Zoroark still going to be picked up here by VN Troller.
And Aldegos is being picked by VN Troller right now.
Yep.
Which Outlaw 9 tells this time around is, and Slowbro is going to be taken by Team Stella Luna.
It's still about the same kind of composition for actually for both of the teams, honestly.
Right. I think Stella Luna still want to have the first pick, right? On this game round.
Yeah.
I think they still want the first pick, so they want to secure the Lapras. Or hopefully, if Umbreon is being left, maybe they want to pick the Umbreon.
Yeah, I mean it's banned right now. Again, anyone we have never seen an Embryo in this game and this day. And for all the matches that we have had for the streamed matches, right? Every time they are banning in the Umbreon. And so it's 100% a ban rate for Umbreon. Definitely means something that definitely needs a patch here. Just like Zacian. So I mean, that's interesting. You remember watching Asian Championship League, right?
Yes,
Where they allowed Zacian to be played actually.
100%.
Which has 100% ban rate because for all the obvious reasons. And I think we are experiencing the same again into the side of what do you call it? Into the side of Umbreon, but at the very least, it's less of an effect because the first team would have to ban the Umbreon. Sorry, the second team would always actually it is the same as Zacian because as Zacian because it's always the second team that needs to ban the Zacian. In this case, the second team would always need to ban the Umbreon. Guaranteed 100% because they cannot allow the first team, the first pick to actually get that Umbreon. So it is still the same as Umbreon, as Zacian, honestly.
How about the draft pick on this time round, JJ? Because Shenlong is being picked, right? And Blastoise as well as Trevenant is able to give them a good space, right? But we do see an Aula Ninetales, which is going to be quotation mark, kind of like countering Zoroark in this game.
I mean, their composition right now for both of the teams are really good. It's just that what I can say is though Stella Luna is lacking in terms of like attack prowess, they make up for it with their own crowd control, which, let's be honest, there is the there's the Alola Ninetales, there's the Lapras, there's the Blissey, and of course there is still the Slowbro as well, which can uses Unite move to anyone at all, maybe even into that of maybe even into that of the Zoroark, if not the Blastoise, even if it does use Rapid Spin, because Unbound status just oversees every status in the game.
Yep, definitely. Because I think Hoopa is one of the strongest Pokemon in the meta right now as well. But Kubfu is trying to take the Gossifleur, but obviously unable to do so, being defended with the Slowpoke as well. But I do believe that should be his or their plan, just to make sure that delays the coming of the Urshifu to the lane.
Right, and here you go as well. Still the poking game, 8 minutes 45. We are seeing a bit of a lead into the side of Stella Luna, ensuring that they can be the dominant team over the other. 55 points to 14 this time around. And likewise, the Urshifu almost at level 6 and is going to be using the Rapid Strike Urshifu as well. And look at that. They don't want this Zoroark to get its spikes as early as they can. And now they are going to be countering up. Unfortunately, for them, they're not going to be able to use a reverse Uno card, going to proc in that focus ban with the help of the Blissey as well for sustain.
But as we can see, like the Blastoise is really, really free for him to be able to stack, and even like stealing the jungle from Team Stella Luna.
No, yeah, I mean it's definitely an amazing time here for Urshifu. As you can see, it currently is at level 7, whereas Zoroark is still at level 6. Still, nowhere close to getting in on level 7 this time around. So, the XP advantage, the power advantage is going to be onto the side of Stella Luna, which they really need, just because of the fact that, as I mentioned earlier, they are lacking in terms of power, their power outputs in comparison to the composition here of VN Troller.
Trevenant is not even evolved yet, and
It's still fun chunk,
and Lampent is still just like level 6 on this on like this minute 7, but Zoroark here is able to knock out the Lapras, which is pretty big, and also the Urshifu, and hopefully they're able to pick up knock out to the Blissey, so they're being countered onto the top lane, and we will see if they are going to take on to the Regieleki first, which is obviously a better choice for them, knowing that the one on the bottom lane, the Regi on the bottom lane, is not being started yet.
Yeah, for sure. With that being said, though, War Turtle being, the solo top here when the major objective comes up is going to be able to take down this Regieleki as well for this, and quite easily as well. It's only like 6 minutes 30 seconds, and they were able to secure that Regieleki for themselves, which is quite an amazing feat for this side of the controller. But unfortunately, I don't think they're going to be able to, properly secure this Regieleki because, Sal Luna is already here, but never mind, they're going to be able to use you're not able to secure their Regieleki for themselves, giving them some shields and XPs in the process, and going to be able to take down 2. That is going to be the Alolan Ninetales and the Urshifu into the side of Stella Luna. So definitely we are seeing a bit of a shift of the paradigm here for both of the teams going into game number 3, just because of the fact that this wasn't what happened on game number 1 and game number 2, where it is the domination coming in from Sal Luna from the early game to the mid game, whereas in this game, it's quite the opposite.
And there's the Unite move is trying to be used for them, but is not able to pick up the knockout onto the Zoroark, which is unfortunately a shame, and, going back with nothing on hand.
And now look at that. Trying to push in on the, bottom pad score goal. Are they going to be able to do so? Not quite yet. Overheat is going to be able to proc this. Going to be able to take down this Urshifu as well in the process. No, make the 2. That is also the Slowbro being one of the highest HPs in the game. No, make that 3 for the side of the Controller. They are now struggling. Stella Luna. At this point
struggling. We mentioned that in the early game, in terms of the levels and everything, I think Sal Luna lost a lot, right? Won by a lot, right? But this time around, it seems that the game is under the VN controller's control.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying as well, right? It is quite the opposite. Whatever happened on game number 1 and game number 2 is not what's happening right now to game number 3, and we are definitely seeing a different kind, right? A different kind of VN troller right now. It seems as if you can't even say that they might have been trolling in game number 1 and game number 2, because this is a different gameplay that they're showing us. They are the dominant team right now and making sure that it sticks, and they are making a statement going into game number 3. And look at that, that's going to be 2 down into the side of Stella Luna as well. But the question is, would they be able to push in this Regieleki into the secondary score goal? No, they won't, but Urshifu is going to be able to answer back with 2 of their own. There's going to be 3 down into that of the Controller. But are they going to be able to add 1 more casualty? Yes, they will. That is the Trevor that's going to be going down, but the LD Girls trying to stay away here, trying to defend the first score goal, but unfortunately for them, they won't be able to do so, as everyone into the side of Stella Luna has done the Ube.
Yeah, I think Stella Luna has done a really good game just now by trying to defend, and the Urshifu is able to do tons of damage, and also trying to just destroy the combination from teams via Troller's team. And we will see that again, once again, the Regieleki, Registeel is going to be taken by the VN Trollers. Zoroark is able to knock out onto the Lapras, which is very, very huge, and leaving from Team Luna with no defender as of now.
No, yeah, look at that right now. They are currently in the lead. 2 score goals right now has been taken down into the side of Stella Luna. Only 1, however, is taken down in the side of VN Troller. But with that being said, I think they do have the positional advantage as well into that of the Regieleki. So if they can take this Regieleki, it will then provide them so much of a breathing room going into the Rayquaza fight.
They're just trying to defend, trying to see if they
can.
Oh,
that was quick!
That was so quick.
Not even 5 seconds, I believe. Dude.
Oops! I think they're too late. I think the Traveler was too late. He was too late on trying to execute and putting in the 60 points, 30 points.
I don't think it's about being too late. I think what they're trying to do is to be delayed as much as possible because they want everyone they want to ensure that everyone is on the top path first before they actually score it. And unfortunately, Lanafros was able to see that from a mile away, ensuring that this Trevenant won't be able to score in. But look at this right now. It seems as if the Zoroark is just trying to stay away from the fight here, just to get a bit of a flick into the Rayquaza fight should they need to steal that away from Luna. But look at that right now. In terms of the team fight, the one on the low is Stella Luna. But here comes another one here. The Shedinja doll is going to be procced as well. But unfortunately, they were waited out and get taken out as well in the process. 1-for-1 trade is going to be the name of the game here for both of the teams. But the Zoroark is currently low. And the the Blastoise, though, trying to get away. But there is still the Trevenant trying to score in 78 down bottom, ensuring that they have a higher lead right now going into this Rayquaza fight. And look at that right now. Are they going to be able to steal this away from Stella Luna? Let's find out together, as the Shifu is currently lower than Snow Globe. Unfortunately, not going to be able to take down the Zoroark, and they're going to be able to do a team wipe as well, ensuring this Rayquaza for themselves, and that is surrendered 2-1 in favor of VN Troller.
That was very, very close. Like the globe does not knocking out the Zoroark, right? And I think Zoroark was not able to be picked up by Team Stella Luna from the previous, from the first team fight was actually pretty big. Zoroark was able to return back to his own base and able to jump at the very right time. Joining onto the second team fight was very, very huge and able to seal the game for Team VN Troller.
No, yeah, I mean, it's quite fascinating to see that final moment as well, where it could have gone either way, especially if that Snow Globe actually took down the Zoroark, especially that it was so low. It was already, way below half health, and the Snow Globe surprisingly wasn't able to take down the Zoroark. It's, I think, one of the most crucial moments in that game that allowed, VN Troller to actually win that game and, take a team wipe, secure the Rayquaza, get the game as well in the process.
Yeah, I think it's a very, very great gameplay by both teams, to be honest. And I do think it is one of the games that we saw. It keeps changing, right? Who's winning, and then and then the other team who's the one winning, and then it goes back again to the other teams that's winning. So again, props to both teams for showing us a very much exciting game, as well as to the viewers on home. And obviously, our action does not stop only today. We still do have tomorrow's game as well. It's going to be on stream. So please do stay tuned, because we're going to be giving you more action-packed games, especially on the higher level, on the grand final, and if we do have another reset grand final as well for tomorrow night.
Yes, so don't go anywhere, guys. I hope you guys, stay tuned again tomorrow. So for those who doesn't know, this live stream is currently live on 2D Ventures Facebook page. We have Aces and Draco Facebook page as well. We have PKMN, Pokemon Indonesia page as well, Facebook page and YouTube. And likewise, we have we're streaming on on the Vietnamese YouTube as well, through that. So we do have a lot of pages that we're live, so make sure to stay tuned and see the grand finals tomorrow, as Shaggy said. But with that being said, that's our final game of the day, and I hope to see you guys again tomorrow for more Pokemon Unite action. This is 2D Ventures Community Cup, the first one. Hopefully there's more. For now, we'll be signing out. See you guys tomorrow.